Ladies, the show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome to the show, episode 101. I'd like to thank everybody for joining the show. And here we're going to do a little saying a little too quick. So, hey, thanks for everyone joining. I do like the new countdown. I don't care if nobody else likes it. I like
sexy.
it.
It is actually sexy.
It gets me all pumped up.
Nice intro, man.
Yeah, I like that. And then the one that Bob set up for me. So thanks to everybody for joining. Thanks to Rohas and Nxtlvl Tech for the raid. I noticed that his show just finished, and so we had a raid from his show over to here. So everyone, thank you for jumping in here. So ladies first, Blue, thanks for joining the show. How are you today?
I'm good, honey. Glad to be off work and off for the weekend. So let's do this.
Let's do it. I've got a slate full over here. We'll see how.
I've got wine, going. So we're good.
Look at Rojas says all we're missing was the explosions. I do need to get at the very end of the real intro. I need to have the cannons going off. Bob, if you're watching, could we do like some cannons going off at the very end? So, but that's all. Yeah, next I would need the cannons to go off right at the end. Yeah, that's true. But thanks for everyone joining. Penn, thanks for joining the panel, bud.
Oh, for sure. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
I've mentioned Penn a couple times on some of the shows that we've done, and I wanted to bring him on the show. The guy has less than 1,000 subscribers, and to be honest, the content and some of the knowledge and some of the insight that the guy brings to the community and puts out there, I think is missed by a lot of people. So I wanted to bring him on the show. I want him to come on here to talk, to share some of the stuff that he is working on or things that he may think that some of us or some of you may be liking to know about. I want him to come on the show, and I think that he definitely deserves more than 1,000 subs. So I'm not sure. I know that I got a couple admins or a couple mods over there on the side chat. JJ's in here. Some of the others. If you guys can post the link to Penn's channel, I'd appreciate it. Post a link to it. Subscribe. Hit the bell icon. All that stuff. He does do some really good videos. Videos you're not going to see other people do. He's doing videos outside the normal box. If you're trying to be a cord cutter and you're trying to do stuff a little bit different, I think that's where I notice that Penn tends to do some videos on that stuff. So again, thanks for joining the show. Any projects you've been working on right now or things that you just to toss out there?
Oh, yes. Well, thanks again for allowing me on your platform, and shout out to everybody who's tuning in for the show and is going to catch the replay as well. So in the background, I am working with companies and individuals that want to start their own server. And the question that's came up lately about this jelly thing, which is getting a lot of popularity as of late. It's free, open source, and it has less restrictions versus the other two, which is known as Envy and Plex. And I've been getting a lot of emails and comments about, setting up servers, even working with known Usenet provider and doing background stuff with them, and just doing some collaboration projects and bringing the content out on the channel. So I sort of took this time this week rather to just prepare some new content and just chill and just gather my thoughts for the upcoming week. So I've been working in the background a lot more this week.
Nice, nice. And for people that may not, and I think you mentioned that it was people that are used to Plex and MB and some of those things. Jellyfin is a free option for that, and I people complain about the cost of Plex. And even Mid has talked. Mid was actually the first person, Blue. You remember Mid first mentioned Jellyfin to us in the side chat because he subscribes to nothing. And he said, "Hey, have you guys ever checked out Jellyfin?" We're all laughing about what Jellyfin. And I looked into it. I was like, "Whoa, this is actually pretty good. Pretty good media server. It is a media platform, so definitely worth checking out because it's going to cost you nothing." So yeah, definitely something people need to check out. So I think that is a very good option for people.
Todd, I got a question for you because
Yes.
I just noticed it. Like every time Penn posts something in the chat, it's always got to be approved. Any idea how to fix that?
Oh,
no.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's been going on.
Yeah,
No.
I keep hitting good. He's good to go. He's good to go. He's good to go every time.
Well, hold on a second because I don't have. I'm just looking through the. So have you gotten in trouble with YouTube? Is that what it is, Ben? I haven't because he's been on my shows, but I've never flagged him.
Yeah.
I've definitely never flagged him for anything.
There we go again. Hold on.
JJ said,
Penn's coming up as I got to approve her too.
I got to pop out chat on this. So I'm not sure. Definitely not sure.
I'll stay on it.
Yeah, please, babe. I'm not sure what the issue is on that. I do know you were the first person that talked about the sonar in when they added the with version 3, they added the TV lists.
Yes.
And you were one of the first people that talked about that. And all right. So what we mean by TV lists. So Sonar did not allow you to add your tracked list. So Radar, if you have a Radar set up,
Sonar didn't let you add any lists, I don't think.
Right. Where Radar does, you can add lists from your different group tracked and this and that. Well, Sonar didn't allow that. So Sonar allowed you to add. Wasn't it tracked that they added, or was it?
I think you can add. I don't know if it's actually Penn will probably know better, but I would assume they would allow the same list that Radar did. But
well, but you got to be careful with that. I'm gonna say this is a word of caution. When you set that up and you say popular, let's just say popular.
Ooh, don't do that.
You say I want to add popular, and I'm gonna do 20. So 20 of the most popular TV shows. I'm going to add that to my list automatically. I think that's a great idea because I want the popular stuff. Mm-hmm. And then you check to automatically download. That can be really bad for you because all of a sudden it automatically pulls in all those shows, Friends, How I Met Your Mother.
Every single episode of
the Big Bang Theory and the Arrow. All of a sudden, I'm like looking and I see all this down. I'm like, well, I'm not trying to get nothing because my Plex server, my servers are very small. I don't have a lot of stuff. I have content that I'm going to watch, not a library like some people do.
You're better to make your own personal track list with the stuff you actually want and then run it.
Yeah, because when you add popular or a list like that and you set it to automatic, it goes crazy. And so
I learned that the hard way on Radar. I think I might have grabbed popular and all of a sudden I realized I had 253 movies downloading and I was like, what?
Yeah.
So I don't do that.
Yeah. It can happen quick. So that's I definitely gave you guys the warning. It's a great feature, but you're going to want to customize it directly to what you want because when it adds, like I said, and it just
find like you don't just have to do your own personal list. Like you know how on Tracked you can like anybody's list, so you can pick any list. Say you see a guy and he's got 10 series just in his thing or 5 of his favorites or whatever. You can grab his. You don't have to make your own, but I mean it is better to take the time and just personalize it. I think.
Yep.
I agree. And stuff you'd rather watch through Cody. So
right.
Yeah, that perk said the same thing. List blew him up. List blew him up. 10 terabytes in 10 minutes. Sorry.
10 terabytes in 10 minutes. Jeez.
Yeah. Well, if you have a cloud server, it's
For sure.
I mean, you know, if you have a good cloud server, depending on what you have going on, you can. It all depends on where. I mean, but I was downloading to myself, and I blew up my premiumizer because you know I had premiumizer set up from when I talked to Penn a while back ago when I was learning how to set up my premiumized account and to set it up with my Plex and automate the whole thing.
Mhm.
And all of a sudden, I looked and I wasn't paying attention. I messed around with it and came back and I saw download. And then I saw my premiumizer said that I was like 50% used of my what is that? Not good. What do they call that? Fair share or?
Yeah, the fair share usage.
Yeah, I was like
Yeah.
down to 50%. I'm like, whoa, what happened here? I mean, I was always like 80%, 90% at least. I'm like, how did that happen? And it was like just download. So yeah.
Todd, can you grab Roger's comment there? If you click on monitored, he gives a little bit of instructions on how to fix that so it doesn't grab everything.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, if and it is unmonitored, and so this can happen. So just
yeah, Roger, that would work for me, except that I would just rather make my own, to be honest. Like, I mean, I'll go to popular and then I just slide it into my own list. Yeah. Like when you go on Tracked and it's got like the 10 top TV shows right now and Discover, that's one of my favorite sections.
Yeah, and it isn't hard to create your own list, but yeah, but you definitely just a word of advice because I was guilty
just
of
click
it.
And go.
Yeah, and I click, and then I'm over there fixing my dinner. I come back, I'm like, what's happening here? I mean, what's going on? You know?
Yeah. It's a bit of a shock the first time it happens to you.
All right. So Alban was asking. Now this is one of the things. Alban, you're gonna have to ask Sonar for this because we still can't pull that progress because that is not one of the lists.
Progress list.
Yeah, you know, like when you're watching a certain stuff.
No.
So yeah. Oh, right. Alban always pushing the limit.
And in all honesty, Alban, like when you're using Plex, it monitors what you've seen. It's like Netflix. You jump right back in where you left off.
Yeah, usually. So I didn't say hello to everybody. I will look through here. 77 people. So Rodster, Sim, Sharon, Michael, Bama, Alban, Bittersweet. Thank you. Joining. JJ. Thank you. Jazzy. Thank you. Lone Wolf. Chris. Thank you for joining. Roger, Steve, Perks. Thanks for joining us. I haven't seen Perks in a while. Michael. Thank you for joining the show. Red. I'm only going to use your first name. Red, thanks for joining the show. To Donald D. Nice, thank you for joining. Sandman. Blue, thanks for joining the show. Octavia, thank you for joining the show. Okay. Brad, thanks for joining the show. Nidge. Is it Nidge? Dalton? Lone Wolf, I got that. Brooklyn Cord Cutter, and I already spoke to. So some of them, to Rohas and Nxtlvl. So hopefully I'm not trying to leave nobody out because I know that people get mad. Mr. E. Tarsha, thank you for joining the show. Troop as always in here watching this. So we got this. So the new Amazon devices, which is on everybody's, I mean, I hate to talk about it because every single show that I've seen the last day has talked about it, but we'll cover a little bit of it. We'll try not to overkill the subject of the new Amazon devices and all that kind of malarkey. So let me go ahead and I'm going to pull up. So we got the new Amazon devices, and the big ones would be the new Fire Sticks, right? So those would be the top items that everybody's talking about. So let me go ahead and I'm going to share this part of my screen here, y'all, so we can see. All right. So am I good over on me for y'all?
Yep, I'll see it.
Okay, so the Amazon Luna, we'll talk about that first, and we'll go with Luna controller, which is kind of work together. I would assume Luna is the service. Luna is a new service, which is going to be a cloud-based gaming service. This is where you're going to be able to play games. So anybody that has an NVIDIA Shield, you understand about cloud-based gaming. So because you had your NVIDIA Shield, what was it? GeForce, I think is what it was called, that you could play certain games via NVIDIA's cloud service. So Grind. I know Grind wasn't Grind one of the ones that you could play all the time. I remember Batman. When I first got NVIDIA Shields, you could play Street Fighter, all kinds of games. And you technically don't download the game. You download a small amount of the game, but the rest of the game you stream it through the internet. They hold the 4 or 5, 10 gigs, however big the game is. They hold it, download a small amount of it, and you play it. So this is all the rage, is being able to play games from the cloud. Doesn't always work great. I know with NVIDIA Shield, they did a decent job, but I got kind of frustrated because you actually downloaded a lot of the game when I played it with a GeForce. You downloaded a lot of it. But a lot of games now, you're not downloading so much, and there has been people complain about some lag and some issues. So this Luna is going to be it, and you can sign up for an early access, and I want to say it's $5.99 a month. Here we go, $5.99 a month, unlimited hours of play, growing library, 1080. You can stream to 2 devices at one time. You need a PC, a Mac, a Fire TV, or other types of web apps for the iPhone or iPad. And again, you're able to play from the cloud, and there's numerous games. Here's a few of the games. You can see some of the titles that they have, and you're able to play these games on your device. So if you had a Fire TV, you could be playing Metro, which is got to be probably 5 to 10 gigs, I bet you, for that game. And you would think, well, my Fire Stick will never hold that much. Well, it's because your Fire Stick never has that much. It's coming from the cloud. So this is one of their things that's coming out. Oh, wait, you probably aren't seeing that because I'm not sharing that tab. My bad. Let me share that just for a second because I wasn't sharing the right tab. Sorry, y'all. And look, Blue's not there to be keeping me in track. Blue, where are you at? You were supposed to be paying attention to that.
Sorry, we're trying to decide on dinner right now. I haven't eaten all day.
Let me not hold you guys up for your dinner plans. All right.
Sorry, what am I supposed to be correcting you?
Nothing. I was going to mess with you. So can you see this screen with the games?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can see these are some of the games that you're able to play through the service. You can see some of those in there. And I think it's a good idea. How it plays out is not necessarily, we're not sure yet. Like I said, I know with NVIDIA Shield, it was hit and miss. Some people were very unhappy with the way that the service was. So they're talking about releasing this, and this is Luna, and it was going to be a cloud-based, and this is going to be early on. We'll see how that plays out. Let me switch back to my other tab, y'all. The controller. This one. All right. So we can see that the controller is $50. All right. So now that's going to stop sharing that screen. Okay. We're real professional here. I can see that. Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Penn, where everything's real professional. So we have the Luna controller. This is going to be the controller. You're looking at $50 for the device. So you're going to have to pay for the service, which right now they say I don't want to say beta. They say early release. It's going to be $6 a month. On top of that, you're going to pay $50. And you have to have both things. You got to have the controller, and then you have to have the service. So it's 2 different things. I don't know how well this will play off. I don't know. We'll have to see how well. You'll have to have both. Say if you want to play with a friend, you're going to have two controllers. So now you're up to $100, $100 in controllers. I said this on Nxtlvl and Rohas' show. I don't know how well your hardcore gamers aren't going to get this. Your hardcore gamers are not going to invest $50 or $100 on a controller to play on the cloud because most of those games aren't brand new. They're a little bit older. They're games that have been around a little while. Where I see this is your casual gamer or your retro gamer. if they push this on, let's say Nintendo gets the inkling to say, you know what, we're going to jump on this and we're going to offer the Nintendo package in Luna service, and you can play these 20 games or 30 games off the Nintendo library. Let's say I'm saying the original NES.
Right.
People will sign up for it. Or they say, you know, we're going to have a Super Nintendo library. These certain games on the Super Nintendo library can be played through this. The casual gamer who's going to invest in this. Your hardcore gamer is never going to invest in this.
Yeah, I
Hey,
agree.
Todd, do me, sorry, Penn. Todd, do
Mhm.
me a quick favor, and can you just check Skype for a second, and then go ahead and talk about that again.
Go ahead. You can go, Penn. You were getting ready to say something.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. So for Luna, I believe that this is going to attract more of the casual base. I do feel that it is a nice alternative, for those that want to maybe get their sort of feet wet, try some things out. I do believe that this isn't going to be like a not necessarily a takeover, but more or less, another option for users to get into as far as cloud gaming. And their competitor, xCloud and Google Stadia, hey, competition is good. It's another option that comes out, and people can try it out. They could get, I think there was an option to get into the early access for
Yeah.
it. And the
Yep.
controller is very recognizable. If you played on Xbox before, you should have no problems getting used to the comfort of controls. Um, pretty standard as far as a controller these days. So I don't have the issue with that. My only issues is that well, it's what pretty much everyone brings up. Well, if the cloud goes down, there goes your games. Or if some
Or the
server
internet.
the internet, some server get attacked, you know how it goes, or scheduled maintenance, people are going to be out of their gaming for that moment, and it doesn't replace actually having the physical disc and having the hardware such as a console as an Xbox or a PlayStation. It wouldn't replace that. It's just a supplement, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, my son's a Xbox, or he's a PlayStation player and a PC player. I can't imagine me giving him this to say, hey, son, guess what? You get to play these games on your Fire Stick. Because he's got a Fire Stick. And I could see him look at me like, and what am I supposed to do with this? No, they don't
Right.
have any of the games I want to play. So yeah, it's interesting how this, but it is and I think this, what was it? This, you said the Stevia. How does
Yeah, the Google Stadia.
Stadia? Excuse me. Yeah,
Mhm.
thank you. Stadia. I think that you're exactly right. That is the direct competition here with that. So,
Yep.
but you can play this on your Fire Stick. I know that people on Fire Stick, I see questions all the time say, can I play my retro games on my Fire Stick? Yes, low end emulation is possible on your Fire Stick. You don't want to get much higher. I guess you can go. You can go into the Super Nintendo and maybe a little farther. I think it would struggle on the NES or the Nintendo 64. And anything farther than that, I think the Fire Stick's going to struggle because they don't have enough processor. Whereas this doesn't give you that problem. So neat idea. I think it's a neat thing to go, and we'll see how that plays out. Let me stop this share for a second. Fourth generation Echo. So I have an Echo. I mean, what about you? Do you got an Echo? Penn?
No, currently I don't have an Echo.
Okay. Hold on. Sorry, she heard me. she heard me. She's like, "Oh, are you talking to me?" So yeah, we've got the new
Echo. I got lots of
Yeah,
echoes.
I know. You got to be careful. They hear you. The new one with the but one of the questions I have with this, and Blue, you have them, and I have the tall one, and then I have
that's called Echo.
Then I have the dot.
Yeah. And you got the show.
And the show. The dot sound is terrible. I've got the dot generation 1. It
Yeah,
is
it's not
terrible.
supposed to be a big room speaker.
No.
That wasn't what it was. It was more for the basically to, what time is it and
Mhm.
what's the weather like outside.
And that's what I use it for. Next to my bed to wake me up.
I actually have it at work, and then when I have any reminders that I need, like I got a meeting tomorrow at 2 p.m., I tell her at my desk. It's awesome.
Well, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it is a new feature. No idea how well. For me, the question is how good is the sound? They can say whatever they want, new look, new sound. They can say all that stuff, but until you actually get your hands on it, you're not going to know how good it actually sounds. But a new design, a little ball. So they got that, and you look at it. To me, it's kind of high to jump out there. I mean, $100 right out of the gate. You get a blue.
Yeah.
They got the blue. So I guess that's cool.
Yeah, they give you different color options. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm not 100% on it. Woofer and dual tweeters. Okay, all right. Well, I didn't realize that. So I think the tall one has that kind of stuff. But like I said, the small, which I all fairness, version 1 is definitely not good. So, and I think that they also had this with they had some that have the time on it. They did have a version with the time on the front, and I can't. And okay, hold on a second. What I've got to do, because it's with me sharing this screen. All right, so and then we also have the new dot. Let's take a look at that. Dot. So we have the new dot, a little smaller. And I know that there was one that they had that I saw that had that had the actual the time on it. Some of them have the clock that's on it.
Yeah.
So so the dot, you're talking $50. So again, same 3 colors. So again, that's new updated versions. So all right. Then they got a kids dot. So where is my? Let me pull up my. Oh, I'm not logged on here. Hold on a second.
All right.
Yeah, I run 2 different browsers, and my one browser does not have all of my information. So copy that, and let's pop this in over here. So we have a couple different Fire Sticks that are coming out. We have the Fire Stick and then the Fire Stick Lite. And we'll cover some of the pros and cons to these. Fire Stick Lite was $29 and the other one was $39. Boom, boom, boom. Let's see. Compare. All right. Well, this is the one I wanted. So we have the different devices that came out today. All right. So we have the 2 here, and I am sharing the right tab, right?
Yeah,
the Fire Sticks. Okay. So we have the Fire Stick Lite and the Fire Stick 3, because this is technically, I guess it's the 3rd generation. So we got a $29, $39, $49, then we got the Cube. And so they give all the specs, which I think was a great layout when I was looking at the AFTV news. They did a really good job with laying out the what are each of the functions and the capabilities and the features for each one. So you've got basically a $10 difference between the sticks, and then of course the Cube goes up. The Lite and the new Fire Stick are going to max out at 1080 frames per second. They're going to max out at 1080. The Fire Stick 4K, you get 4K quality. So if you're a person that's not into 4K, you may find that you can get away with some of these others, with the other 2 lower. They're using the same processor. If you look at the CPU, they're all the same processors except for when you get into the cube, which that's something different. But the sticks are all using the same processor. The RAM, you're looking at RAM is 1 gig for the two newer devices and a gig and a half for the 4K. So that's going to give you a little bit more speed.
I didn't know there was a gig and a half. I didn't know that was.
Yeah, in the 4K it is.
Yeah, for the 4K one.
And then they changed up a little bit on the remote.
Sorry, I just meant I didn't realize there was possibility of a gig and a half in anything. Usually say 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. I've never seen 1.5 before.
If you're Amazon, you can have that half a gig.
Wow.
If you're Amazon, you can do it. You're like, I want a gig and a half, and some manufacturer says, "Oh, we can give you a gig and a half." We're on it, boss. You can see a little bit of a difference between the remote on the light. You're not able to do the up and down with the volume, and that has to do with if people that control your TV volume, the 3 remotes here will let you do the volume on your TV. Of course, the light will not, and of course, the light is the cheapest. The new operating system. Now, the 2 new ones came out with the Android 9, the OS 7. So they came out with the Fire OS 7, which is their own operating system. But if you look, the 4K's got the Fire OS 6 running Android 7.1. It's safe to bet that Amazon is going to push an update to this 4K to bring it to par. I can't see them not doing it. They're going to want to bring everybody to the same OS. I don't see them holding back. So it's a different OS, which I don't think makes for the end user. Most end users aren't going to care. Maybe the GUI is going to change some, possibly. We don't know. But the biggest thing when I look at this, and I said this earlier, I look at a $29 price, $39, $49. We remember the 4K. How many times did it drop to $25? And yeah, several times, right? I mean, numerous times it dropped to $25 for Prime users. I would bet money that we're not going to see that again because they're losing money. Honestly, I can't see them making money on a $25 purchase for that hardware because they're making money on the back end on you on this. So they're willing to lose on the front end to make on the back end. I bet you this 4K or the Fire TV Stick 3 is what we're going to see that $25 price point. We may see the 4K do what it is now. What we've seen, $39 on this one? It's just recently $39. But I bet you that they're going to say, you know what, this Stick 3 is the one we're going to make the entry level to pull people in on. We'll drop the price to get you to buy that. And once you're on that, maybe you're going to want to invest on a 4K or a Cube. Maybe you want that. The light, to me, the biggest difference on the light was the remote doesn't have volume. So what is it? You're not able to control your TV, and the Dolby sound, Dolby Atmos. The sound on these 3 here gave you Dolby Atmos directly into your TV, whereas this one allows you, but you got to do it through through bypass, not bypass, where you have to go through something else. It doesn't do it natively. You got to go like through a sound bar or something.
Yup.
So your TV has to do it, or something else has to decode it, but it'll allow it. But you have to use another device, whereas this does it natively. So I don't know. What do you guys think about with this? I mean, it's not an upgrade, I don't think.
Yeah. To me, it's not really an upgrade. I guess they just wanted to push out another device that could give the end user a slightly, let's say, make it more affordable for those the people that's still on the fence about it and they want to get introduced to the Fire Sticks. I think the light version does that. I think compared the light versus the 4K even. I mean, so look at the price difference here. So you have $30 versus $50.
Mm-hmm.
Now, okay, we can make the argument that hey, if you don't have a 4K TV, just get the light. You know, you save $20, and hey, but think about it. Around holiday times or whenever there's a good sale, probably the best value here would be either the 4K stick or whenever that Fire Cube 2 goes down in
Mm-hmm.
price. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I would say for storage purposes, I would say if you want to get into it, catch a deal on that Fire Cube because it's going. I think it has like what 16 gigs of storage versus the
Yes,
8.
and it actually 16 gigs of storage where the sticks have 8 and it has 16, and we have seen it numerous times at $99. I mean,
Okay.
it's been numerous times I've seen it for $99. So, and look at the RAM. You get the most RAM out of any of the devices too. So, and
Yeah.
it doesn't sound like a lot of added RAM, but that does make a difference. And it's got a different GPU, graphics processor. These all have the sticks have one kind of processor. The graphics processor, the Cube it has a different one.
And so if you're pushing more on performance than the storage, the Cube is going to be your best bet.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the other thing that a lot of people may not, maybe it matters to you, maybe it doesn't. The Ethernet adapter is in the Cube, and I thought that the 4K came with an adapter. I know I've gotten where people have brought me. Well, no, I'm sorry. It comes with this one, the extender. I'm sorry. So yeah, they comes with that HDMI extender, which sticks out of the TV, makes it so that it's not jammed in there.
Right.
But the Cube comes with an Ethernet adapter. So if you're a person that's like, hey, I like to do my hook up my Ethernet all wired.
Hardwire is the way to go if you can.
If you can, yes. And that's
yeah.
So it does give you that, and it gives you also the ability to control other stuff. I mean, you're able to, to do the, hey, turn this on, this, and that. So it does give you. So yeah, you're right about the, it's a better bang for the buck if you're willing to invest. I think like you're right. I think it's like they went to the lowest. It's like they went to the lowest they could get. Like, hey, we're going to offer you the stick and strip it down. We're at $30. And I'm thinking, how many Fire Stick sellers are just, I'm loading up on them lights. Maybe they'll promote them for $20 a piece, on sale. I don't know. It's an interesting strategy. Not really sure where they're going long term on it.
Yeah, long term, I'm not sure what their plans are, but I mean, this option is always available.
No. Sure. I would still, if someone was saying, Dabs, which one do I buy? And they're out of the gate, I would say 4K. 4K, the half a gig, the half a gig more of RAM, it makes a difference. I'm
peppy.
Yeah, it is much more peppy than, and we'll also see once they do the OS. Now, this is using Fire OS 7, which none of us has a hands on yet, so we have no idea what it's going to do, how it works, how it functions. So we'll see how that goes. So neat thing. I'm not sure. So what did you guys think about the on these new devices? Because that's the major one. They do have a new show. I'm not going to go into that. In the mesh, I really didn't look into the mesh. I'm not sure if either one of you two are looked at the new mesh that they're going to be offering.
I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, it was Wi-Fi 6, if I'm not mistaken, was one of the pros. And
okay, so are you asking us whether or not we want to buy any of these? Is that what you were asking?
Well, I was asking if you.
And then you kind of went sidetracked there.
I did go sidetrack. I
will let Penn speak there. I'm good.
Well, as far as what you showed, Butcher, I'll say the Fire Stick Lite. For me personally, since I already have a 4K, I wouldn't be getting into that. But with the Echo and the Dot, things of that nature, perhaps I'm willing to look into it, do a bit more research, and give it a shot. Why not?
Cool.
Yeah, I was looking at these, and Blue knows I have squirrel mode. So
Oh my God, I was just typing squirrel in the side chat.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I do get squirrel mode sometimes.
So what do you guys think of? Oh, by the way, the other day I was at the store and I was like, what?
Yeah.
That's okay,
my
honey.
brain.
I'll keep you on track. Don't worry.
I can go 4 or 5 different directions in my brain. So it is. I do see Wi-Fi 6, which I have no idea what Wi-Fi 6 is. I'm curious. It's a mesh system. They talk about that it's supposed to be better. I don't know. I'd have to lean towards someone that has more understanding on how the system is, but that was one of the other big items. Yeah.
Noir just said check your DM, so I don't know if he has knowledge of this stuff or what's going on, but if you could have a quick look there, maybe.
Oh yeah, well yeah, he sent me a thing saying about the Ethernet adapter for the Fire TVs. Yes, you can buy the Ethernet adapters for those other ones. Yes, Noir, thank you. You can buy it. The one thing that the Cube comes with it already. And what's the adapter? $10, $11, $12, something like that. So when you start, well, I'm gonna buy a $50 stick, and then I got to pay for $12.
See, I don't know if I go with the light just because I like having volume control on my remote.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that's kind of important. I like to sometimes when I'm just sitting here, I want to just mute it or whatever. And so I think I would go a step up from it. I wouldn't go 4K. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess I would go 4K because I already have a 4K. Although it just sounds ridiculous because I don't have a 4K TV. I couldn't technically watch anything in 4K. And I'm not a big horse.
Roger did say the Wi-Fi 6 is the latest Wi-Fi standard. And DeBeach posted, I think that the Amazon Lite is to compete with Roku's $25 stick, and it's probably true.
Yeah, I can see that.
But most of us are pretty savvy shoppers, so most of us are like, just wait a couple weeks, it'll be on sale. Because I mean, how many times?
When's Black Friday for you guys again? When is that? November?
Yeah, that's like
November. What, the day after Thanksgiving? November.
Yeah,
because Thanksgiving changes.
Yup.
So you never know. Let's say in the 20s, November 20s somewhere.
Pretty much in about 2 months, generally.
Yeah. So let's see. We got that. So one of the other things, babe, you were talking. Remember, you were looking for something just a couple months ago. You remember what you were looking to buy? You were looking to purchase something a couple months ago.
No, because I'm looking to buy stuff all the time. So you want to enlighten me?
All right. So you were looking to buy a deep freezer.
You mean a stand-up freezer? Yeah.
Stand-up freezer. And you were talking about, I'm struggling to find them. They're not on.
They were all sold out because everybody was in lockdown and getting freezers, I guess.
So I actually was watching the news today, and they were talking about an appliance shortage. And they said there is an appliance shortage, which I never knew. And they said that there is an appliance shortage. And if you think about it,
everybody was going bananas at the grocery store and then had nowhere to keep all the stuff that they were buying.
Yeah. And so we had an appliance. Plus, think about this. So how many factories were shut down for a couple, 2-3 weeks? And then when they opened back up, they did limited. Well, we can only have so many people in the warehouse or on the assembly plant or on the assembly line. So you cripple the assembly line that's normal. So there is an appliance shortage. So that was very interesting. I was like, we talk about a lot of shortages on.
I was going on every day looking for, because I wanted to catch it before it sold out again. But I did get one. I got a really nice one, actually. It's like 5 shelves and then a door or 2, all the stuff on the door. Because all we had the, God, I hate it. It's the, the normal fridge, like the 2-door fridge, but where the freezer is in the bottom. But it's not a very big drawer. Like, it doesn't hold anything. You can't throw a turkey in there. So it's like almost almost ridiculous how small freezers seem nowadays. Maybe they're the same size they used to be, and we just didn't have as much shit in them. But yeah, like 5-story friggin' freezer now. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, there is a shortage, and I do know that people. Eddie says construction materials and stuff, and there is an issue with some construction, but supply and demand, the chain of production, because people don't understand that. And I'll use food for example, because obviously I work in food every single day.
And then I'll talk construction when you're done with that.
Yeah, thanks, babe. So we talk about, I'll use soups, for example. Now, so people in the U.S., we have Progresso soup. I'm not sure if you guys have Progresso soup up there. Okay. So Progresso soup. So when this pandemic happened, soup went out the roof. Why? Shelf stable. It lasts a long time. You can just warm that up and eat it. You don't have to actually cook it. You can just warm it up. So soups, I'm talking about, we at my store, I'm not counting how many shelves, but as feet long, 30 feet, I bet you 25 to 30 feet of nothing but soups. At the beginning of this pandemic, almost everything was gone. I mean, every single shelf, all the way back. And if you've shopped, you were knowing at that time about soups. So Progressive had to limit what soups they're making. They said, you know what? We're only going to make these 10 soups, because if you know, Progresso had, I don't even know, they seem like 20, 30 soups is what they seem like they have, because it was so many slots. So they've limited to what they're making, because as the stores sold out, the stores called to the warehouse, we need more product. That came from the warehouse in. The warehouse called to the supplier and said, hey, I need your soups that's on the shelf, that's in your warehouse. They basically stripped the warehouse. So all the inventory that was on hand is gone. Then, like I said, we have a lockdown. Hey, we're going to close Progresso for a couple weeks because the COVID, we're going to do for 2 weeks. Then we're going to limit how many people can get on the line. So you have no supply in the warehouse anymore, and you're limiting how many people can get on the line. So Progresso says, you know what? Instead of us making 30 soups, we're going to make 15, because we can focus on 15. If we focus on 15, once we get that.
In all honesty, what do you need? Chicken noodle, tomato, cream of broccoli, or cream of mushroom, cream of chicken. There's 4. You're good. Maybe a vegetable.
Beef stew. We need beef stew.
But I mean, you don't need the weird whatever stuff they're making nowadays.
Yeah, but it's so it got to be. So what happened is that ran out, and so now the companies are trying to catch up. And so, the same thing happened with manufacturing, right? I mean, supplies, aluminum, wood, that kind of stuff. Blue. I mean, you like actually building supplies did the same thing where. And
anything that is out there, their prices are jacked.
Right.
Like
supply and demand.
Like double the price it used to be. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. But I mean, we were lucky in COVID that, I mean, we're considered essential as well, construction. So it was like we never shut down. But yeah, sometimes finding stuff is taking a little longer.
All right. So what's funny? So all right. So this is funny. All right, now you know the reason why I see this funny is because I've had people asking for this damn soup.
Wedding soup, yeah, it's freaking delicious. It's one with the little meatballs and then the weird.
I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
They're asking for the damn shit, and it's like
called Italian wedding soup.
Yeah, I was gonna say there was another Italian. It was another wedding soup, and I'm thinking people keep asking for. I'm like, you know, we're lucky you got what we got. So
I'm happy with tomato.
Yeah, and so I do think that hoarding was an issue, folks. There was some issue with hoarding, and yes, that happened. But also, people weren't eating out. People were at home eating. So if you're feeding your whole family, whereas normally, how many times do an American family before pre-COVID? How many times were people going out to eat?
Probably like 3 times a week.
Yeah, around that time.
Easily 3 times a week.
Or even ordering in, like.
Oh yeah, but that's still eating out.
Yeah.
So you went from doing that.
We do too. We do Friday, Saturday.
So you went from that to, guess what? Everybody's at home. You're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner at home. And maybe you did some drive-through because some drive-throughs were open. You know, you could call into McDonald's or Wendy's and you could pick up something on your way. But for the most part, they were eating 3 meals a day, whereas they were normally eating out. So we went off on food. I didn't mean to go. So my point is about appliances. We started from appliance shortage.
Squirrel.
So squirrel. Yeah. Sorry. So that went on for a while. Sorry, folks.
Yeah. Did you want me to cut you off at all, or is that rude? Or what
No.
do you want me to do?
Send
Just
me a
let you go?
message and say, send me a DM. Say, thanks, babe, that we caught it.
You don't read your messages though, honey. So that doesn't.
I'm looking. I'm trying to pay attention. You didn't send me a DM. TMDB. Did we talk about TVDB? The
TVD or TMDB? The TV one?
Okay. Yeah, the TV one. So TVDB was down this week. It was down for a couple days ish. They were doing some server work. And the reason why I bring that up is so if you were using a APK or using Kodi or an add-on and you were finding that you were getting errors, it most likely was because it couldn't reach the TV database if the add-on was written to call out to that particular website. So I'll use airing today. I'll use that for example, because you've seen numerous add-ons that says airing today. And if it says airing today, you'll click on it, you're like, oh, I want to know what's airing today. And then it comes up with an error. So what happened is the TV database was down with some maintenance issues, some whatever was happening with them, and their website was down. So your add-on wasn't broke. It was actually the website that it was calling out to, because the add-on, all it does is says, hey, go check the TV database website on air today, a URL. I'm just going to go, it says, go look at this URL. And that website, that URL was down. And so the add-on would come up with an error. And because of that, then your add-on would come up with an error and you're like, well, this add-on sucks because, because it's not working. So that was an issue. They posted later today that they have fixed the issue and that they were monitoring it. So if you had issues on TV shows and stuff, it may be fixed, but it wasn't the add-ons issue. It was actually, or APK, because APK is linked to them too. It wasn't that issue. It was actually where they're looking. And that happens with Tracked. It's happened with IMDb. It's actually happened with the movie database. When they go down, if certain applications are pointing to a certain URL and that's not there, you'll get an error. So sometimes we don't need to blame the particular add-on we're using or APK that we're using. We need to think, oh, there's something else. That's why I actually, if you follow Twitter, add those sites to you follow them, because they'll pop up. Tracked, IMDb, TVDB, and TMDB. And Real Debrid. Also, if you're a Real Debrid customer, follow those people or those groups, those companies, because when they go down, that causes ripple effects in amongst your add-ons or your APKs. So have you seen any of that stuff, Penn or Blue? I know Blue's went to probably go get some more wine.
Yeah. Here's the thing though. Outages does occur, and I know it can be frustrating to some end users when they go to their favorite add-on or their favorite APK and they're realizing, or they're sort of getting the illusion that, oh, this is down or it isn't working. These things happen generally all the time. Usually they're resolved within a few hours or so, so it's not too bad. Things happen. I've had experiences, with TVDB going out and things of that nature, and it's other sources. If you use certain applications like the open database or the MovieDB and things like that, but the TVDB is generally like standard across all add-ons, right? In Kodi Butcher. Yeah, so you just gotta be patient. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and do your best to. This is where following certain certain places on Telegram or following certain places on Twitter, and people are like, oh, I'm not a Twitter person. Well, you don't have to be a real Twitter person. You can actually just add that. You can add very little to your Twitter account. You can get a Twitter account and follow, if you have it, Real Debrid or Premiumized or All Debrid, whichever one of those 3 services you link to, add them as someone you follow. Add the TVDB, add TMDB, add Tracked.
Yeah.
And you will find, if like you're having an issue with your add-on or your APK, open up Twitter and say, I don't check Twitter in 2 weeks. Let me look here. And then all of a sudden you're like, oh, yeah, the movie database just said they're having issues. That might be why when I pull up popular or people are watching on my favorite application, it's not working. Because applications, when they're built, in the link, it'll say where they're looking. And again, you're not going to look at the code, but if you looked at the code, it would say HTTP TMDB / trending.
Well, and like you said, following RD is so good too, because it's like all of a sudden I can't get links. This add-on sucks. No, RD's down. RD is slow to say that they got an issue, though. All fairness, RD was always, RD can be blowing up, and then all of a sudden, after a half a day, well, yeah, we're having a few issues, and it could be like not working at all. So RD, it bugs me the hell out of me. Sometimes they're not as. Or worst case scenario, go to the site.
Yeah. Usually you'll see on that, but yeah, RD just cracks me up.
Like Track will let you know if it's under maintenance or.
Oh yeah, Track definitely lets you know. I mean, some sites, but I just know RD. They're tight-lipped. They'll be like, oh yeah, everything's running fine, and we'll be like, damn, shit's not working. Then half a day later, oh yeah, we're having issues with somebody's hammering us with an API. Oh, thanks for letting us know. One of the other devices today, and I talked about it earlier today, Chewy. And I don't know if you check this out, Penn or Blue.
Oh yeah, you showed that earlier. Okay.
Yes. So let me show this, and I guess you guys can see this. This is a mini PC, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs SSD. It's recently came out. It's a mini computer, and I'm talking about, when I say mini, I don't know if it gives me the dimensions on here. Let's see if this gives me the dimensions. I mean, this thing, I saw some videos on it. It is a little. Shoot, I can't. I'm trying to think of what I compare it to. Dimensions. Here we go. And of course, it doesn't give me the dimensions. I'm talking, this thing looks like about 3 to 4 inches, maybe 4 inches by 4 inches, 3 inches high. I mean, it is little, but comes with an Intel processor, 6 gigs of RAM, 128 gig storage, as well as you can add on the side, you can add an SSD, or you can add another storage. Comes with Windows 10. It also allows you to do a Linux boot. So if you want to set it up and do a dual boot, it comes with Ethernet port. It has wireless capabilities. 2 USB ports, as you can see here, an audio jack, and then SSD micro card reader. So I'm wondering about that. I want to say that I saw in one of the videos that you actually can put a micro SD card like inside it to add storage space, but I don't know for sure. Video output goes up to 4K. And this thing, if you buy it and you pay, it has a code, you can get it for $200. And the reason why I bring this up is you're talking a device that is, I don't have it in my hand, so I can't say it's equal to an NVIDIA Shield, but it has a lot of things that the NVIDIA Shield has, and maybe better than the NVIDIA Shield. And again, maybe 128 gigs of memory, number one, twice the RAM. I don't know how well, though. I watched some of the videos where they were showing it playing 4K quality, and it played it just fine. But for $200, you're talking the same price as you're talking for an NVIDIA Shield. And you get more RAM, and you get more hard drive space and expandable storage, along with Windows 10. And some people complain about Android sucks because I don't like the interface. This actually gives you the opportunity to run it as Windows. You can browse the web. You can make it your computer on. And what I'm going to do with it is I'm actually going to hook it to my TV, hook it up through the HDMI. I'm going to set it up as a computer, and then I'm going to load all the other stuff that I want to load on it. Like if you've loaded Kodi on a computer, you find it's very easy. So this is going to give you those things. Active cooling, one of the things someone asked about the cooling, it does have a fan in it. And I don't know if you can see there's this copper looking color. That's the heat sink.
Okay. Yeah, I see it.
So yeah, it's a big heat sink that runs across the whole bottom of this. And it has a fan that's blowing against that heat sink. So should do a pretty good job of spreading the heat to disputing or to getting rid of the heat. It should. The only downside that I've heard some people say it was a little bit loud, and I'm assuming that's because it's right beside them. But let's say if it was sitting behind your TV, would you hear it? If it was behind your TV and your TV's running, probably wouldn't.
Yeah, it probably wouldn't. It seems like a great device.
Yeah, it
Based on what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I went ahead and I paid for it. I bought it, $200.
Yeah.
I did it. I bought it today. Blue. I'll blame Blue because she talked me into it. She said I should buy it. And again, it comes with a couple. It has like 2 USB ports. And like here, you can see where it comes with it comes with these mounting brackets. So if depending on your TV or monitor, you actually can mount it on the back of something.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a very neat idea. So I'm willing to take the chance. If worst case scenario, I don't like it, I'll try to sell it to somebody for $100. Because actually, if you use, there's a code that actually takes this price down to $199. So if you use this code here, Lark Box, gets you down to $199. So again, it gives you a PC as well as that. Now I watched some videos where guys did emulation with this, and y'all know that I love my video games. They did emulation with this and ran it all the way up to PSP without a problem. Wii games had a little bit of some hiccups, and they were if you watch ETA Prime, he actually got it to run with some tweaks, but not perfectly. Dreamcast ran pretty good through Dreamcast. So you can get all the way up, and PlayStation 2 was a little glitchy. So you can do all those low-end emulations on this pretty seamlessly. So if you're thinking about NVIDIA Shield, you can't find it, it's hard to find, this may be an option for you. You can use the code and, go nuts. Check it out.
Todd, is this the thing you just bought?
Yep.
Yeah. So Todd will be testing it out shortly, or whenever he gets it. Is it coming from China, or where's it coming from?
It said China, but it said I'd get it in 7 days. It said Hong Kong. So is that China? It said Hong Kong. It's coming out of Hong Kong. So maybe I'll get it quicker. Maybe I'll get it quicker than China, because I know that Hong Kong's in China, but sometimes it's not the same thing. Doesn't comes a little quicker. So hopefully we'll check it out. I'll let you know. ETA Prime did some breakdown videos where he tears the whole thing apart. He shows you literally he took every bit of it. He took the whole thing apart, and you can see the heat sink. You can see everything.
See, I love my HTPC, but it's not. It's an Intel Nuke, so it's a little more top range. But it is really neat how you can swap stuff out, and it's got room for the same thing with this. It's got room for like an SSD, and you can put even an HDD in it as well. Like I did that. I had I think I had 128 SSD in it, and then I threw in a 1 terabyte drive, and then I upped the RAM in it, and it's cool because then I can just pick it up and take it with me when I'm traveling, and I don't have to worry about Wi-Fi. So I got all the movies already on it.
Look, hey, cool. Babe, here's Diesel. So $239 US means what? $700 Canadian.
No, it does not.
With the tariff, it will. The tariff will get you. The
Yeah,
tariff will
you
get
know
you
what?
more than
Right back at you, buddy. You know what? You guys hit us with shit, we hit you right back, and you get a
I
crap
know.
load more stuff from us than we get from you.
Scotch tape.
You weren't aware of that.
Look at
Hey,
JJ.
if you
Go ahead.
sell that for 100.
Yeah. Well, hey, I'm just saying, worst case scenario, if I don't like it and I hate it, I'll
He's
just sell it
selling
for
it.
a loss. I'll sell it for a loss. if
I
have
told
to.
him when he moves here, he can mess around with my nuke all he wants.
I saw Roger's comment, his HTPC, Ryzen 5 3600, 32 gigs of RAM, and GTX 1080. Yeah, that is a killer for sure. Originally when I got mine's, wow. Well, I ordered it back in December 2017, but I didn't get it until 2018, like around January. So it took about 3.5 weeks. Mine's is still running like a charm, an i7 8700K, but I got it overclocked to 5 gigahertz. Upgrade the RAM from 16 to 32 gigs of DDR4 memory, and a GTX 1080 Ti, which I'm looking into purchasing a RTX 3080 just to test the water for 4K. But that 1080 Ti is a beast still today. I'm
But
getting over
I mean,
100 frames in all these games that I'm playing, and I'm talking about
yeah, I mean, you're not overkill is an understatement.
I
You know what? Honestly, I'm of the mind go hard or go home.
yeah.
I don't usually like I don't want the low end. I'd rather spend the money to get a more quality. Like, that's not to say that if all you can afford is a Fire Stick, cool for you. But for me, I tend to go a little overboard when it comes to buying stuff. Like when I bought my nuke, Jesus, it's got to be like 7 or 8 years old now. I think I paid $800 for it.
Mhm.
Without the extra drive. That was just straight up SSD and the whatever RAM it came with, and it was like $800. And I think it was only Intel 5 back then.
Yeah, it was before the 7 came out.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, or what the idea where with some individuals is that they may want to pay the high end price to sit on something for quite a few years, or you have people that like to just spend a little bit more money and do some upgrades of different devices here and there, and you have the option to do that. But what I like about a custom built HTPC is that you can upgrade anything that's inside of it, and you can choose to when you feel like upgrading, or if it doesn't need an upgrade, you can just sit on it for quite a while.
And the cool thing about them too is like dual booting it. I had two different I think I had a Linux at one point and Windows, and I think I also had Windows and LibreElect on it. So I'd have it boot normally into, I think, straight up into Libre because I was just using it for Kodi. But then I also like the fact that I could also load up the Windows if I wanted to.
Yeah.
I mean, Windows is easy.
HTPCs are pretty damn cool. And see, now my nuke, I hadn't used it for a while. I don't know why. I think because I kept buying other boxes and sticks and just trying everything out. And I kind of forgot about it for a while. And then the other day I was like, okay, you know what? This is perfect for a Plex server, because I had a normal PC and it was giving me issues. It was like whenever it would freeze, and the weird thing is it would freeze the internet in my entire house. And I still can't figure out how that happened, because it wasn't like it was directly from the modem. It was like the modem went to the router, and then the router straight to my PC. But when my PC would freeze, the internet would go down over the entire house. So I'm like, screw this. And I mean, normally I have a laptop. So I'm like, I had a local server on that PC, but it was such a pain in the ass. And then I'm like, you know what? I got a nuke sitting here, loaded Windows on it, plug it in, I leave it on all the time. And so I always have access to my server.
And they're low heat too. I mean,
totally. There's no issues with that.
Yup, low power consumption,
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Yeah.
And they're usually quiet too.
Yeah. So I mean, Todd, if you test that thing out and it's fantastic, like anybody who's thinking about wanting to have a local Plex server, and guys, by saying local Plex server, it doesn't mean that you can't use your stuff when you're outside the house. You can. But it's just it's nice to have it in your house instead of on a stream box, or a what do you call that? A
seed box.
Seed box. Thank you. Instead of having it out there where you have limited whatever, you can just keep hooking up more drives to it, or upping your drives, or whatever. And
It's addictive. Careful.
Yeah, it's local. Like what I like to do is I have a seed box which grabs all my normal stuff, and then what I'll do is I'll take it and I'll slide it local. So then I have it forever. That way I can clear my seed box to keep up grabbing new stuff. And then I only keep the stuff that I love, but I'm more of a, I don't have a huge amount of space because I haven't actually grabbed it. But I know a ton of people who, 100 terabytes of drive space that they have local and stuff, which is to me so cool because you can keep more stuff. But like I said, because it's local doesn't mean that you can't use your Plex outside the house. You can't. Because
absolutely.
Plex works. So
it's easy, and I know Penn, you've messed with. Well, this has been one of your fortes of setting up that stuff and using.
Absolutely.
I'm going to be watching your videos. I subscribe to it, by the way. So.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, and although like a seed box isn't like necessary to get content, it wouldn't be a bad idea to utilize one. Like you said, Boo, you mentioned about the sliding content and things like that, and a lot of people just want to like have it go through that type of process where you get the content on the cloud or that cloud server, and then you slide it to your local, and you just clear out what you don't need, and that's a viable workflow, and it works.
Yeah, see, like for me, the reason that I grabbed a seed box was, I've always been a downloader, so I've always grabbed stuff like locally. Don't arrest me. And but the thing is, what was cool about it is it had Ultra Seed Box had integrated Plex, integrated sonar, integrated radar, so it automatically almost did most of the work for you. Mm-hmm. So I know with Todd uses sonar and radar locally. So he's figured out all that stuff, which is really cool. But like back then for me, I just wanted an easy like click and go. But I mean, yeah, you can have just straight up local. But I mean, if you're gonna host a Plex server, and I'm sure most of you know this, but if you're gonna host a Plex server and share it, lots of times it's not something where you're gonna want to turn it off at night because maybe your aunt or your friend or whatever watching stuff at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it is nice to have something that is on all the time. If you have a PC on all the time, great. But if you don't, if you only have a laptop, that's when an HTPC comes in really, really handy.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah, and yeah, it is. I will say that be careful when you get into the Plex slippery slope, because once you start, I've seen how many people that you're like, oh yeah, I want that, yeah, that sounds good too. And how many of our friends have how many hard drives, and I mean terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of hard drives, because it's like, oh yeah, don't get rid of that show. I need that. So it's fun. It's nice to. Even though I have a 12 terabyte hard drive here that I bought on sale, and I stuck it in, plugged it in USB. There I go. I only get certain stuff that I want, and once in a while, one of my friends will say, "Would you get this for me?" Sure. And I keep it small. But people that we have friends that just go nuts, and you can.
That's
so
me.
Yeah.
I did like close to 12 terabytes last month.
Just last month.
That's just last month.
Yeah, you got to be careful, man. It'll get you. It's like a bug bites you.
Yeah.
It is fun though. I mean, like I said, I talked to you at the beginning when I was messing around with Premiumize. You said, I messed around with that a little bit, and I get just giving people options. If you have Premiumized, it was a great option. Now, not to run out and say I'm gonna buy and pay for Premiumize. I bought Premiumize when it was on sale for $99 for 2 years. So, okay, so that's $50 a year. Sure. It's sitting there. I got RD already. I've done paid for RD for a year. So I'm like, what am I going to learn on this? So there's so many options. The Plex, radar, sonar, was it LiDAR?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I use that that has built-in lists too.
That's
I just
music.
set that up again. Yup. And
Then there's one for books.
I think it's called. I want to say Mylar or something similar.
It's all of them finish with 2 R's.
Yeah.
Sonar, and it's always 2 R's. Radar, it's 2 R's. So LiDAR is 2 R's. So if you do any kind of Google and search, you'll be able to find it. It's the problem. All right. So Bob says I couldn't watch.
Could you watch or listen to 12? So everybody, yeah, you could.
But the thing is so what ends up happening is that you collect it for you first.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, hey, these are the shows I care about. And then you're like, you tell your best friend or your sister or your brother, hey, you want me to add you to my Plex so that you can watch those same things? And they're like, yeah, sure. Because who's going to say no to that? So you add them. And then they say, hey, can you get this? Can you get that? And next thing you know, you're like, well, I'd sure like to get rid of Game of Thrones, but I don't know if Joan has watched Game of Thrones yet. She asked me about Game of Thrones. And so you end up keeping it. You're like, I'll just keep it for a little while and I'll get rid of it later. And it grows. My GOT, and I'll just say my GOT folder. I had a buddy that said, hey, can you get GOT? And if you know what GOT is, I said, sure. So I have my own settings inside of Sonar. I have my own settings for them. I'm a quality snob. I tend to like 1080 or 4K. So those are my settings. That's what I wanted. I was 75% through it before I realized that I had 250 gigs of GOT.
Ooh.
And I said, because you know how it tells you what your folder size is?
Yeah.
And I'm going through and I'm like, oh, it's almost done with GOT. Okay. And I looked and I'm like, 230 gigs already. What the? I looked, and I mean, some seasons were 50 gigs. I said, whoa, pump the brakes. What am I doing here?
That's some high quality.
See, yeah. I'll if I'm grabbing a whole series, like an entire series, I will make sure I'm picking the quality I want for that. Yeah. Just because, I don't want 250 gigs of Game of Thrones as much as I love it.
A rookie mistake.
Totally.
That's interesting because with Sonar, it has the ability to download season packs. So, and in my experience, this is what I noticed. And I know everybody have different preferences in terms of quality and different setups, but the 720p content that you will find typically on peer-to-peer sites versus the Usenet content that's available on 1080p, I see a massive difference. And I'll take that 250 gig TV series versus a compression of, let's say, overall, let's just say 50 for the whole series. I'll take that because the quality is that much better, in my opinion. But it comes down to internet connection, device. Are you transcoding? Are you direct playing? You have to factor all those things. Are you doing X265 versus X264 to save even on more space? So it is personal preference, and you could, change it on the fly.
Yeah, and I changed mine. Believe me, I changed it when I saw that it was at 230. I'm like, whoa! This is not even a show I'm going to watch. I mean, because I've seen it. So no, I'm not going to go back and watch it. I was only getting it for him. And yeah, lesson learned. And I definitely lowered my quality because I didn't need it. So, hey, Ken, I posted the link to the headset that I have, which is a SteelSeries Arctix 5 is what I have here. I got this as a Christmas gift last year, so yeah, it's fun.
Nice.
Can I do a video on Plex, Sonar, and Radar sometimes? Penn, do you got any videos on that? I mean, I did a little bit on my premiumized.
Mm-hmm.
I did not go into the Plex side. I tried to stay in the Sonar, Radar, in the premiumized aspect of it because I felt when I looked for videos on what I did videos on, I found there's lots of videos on this and that, but there wasn't very many videos on people talking about premiumized and how to use your premiumized account. So, do you have any videos on Plex and Sonar Radar? Do you have those?
Oh yes. I did quite a bit of videos on the automation tools and Plex. Thing is, I just did a search on my channel. I did quite a bit of them. I could link some in the private chat, and you could post
Okay.
it. Just
Okay.
general tips and how to
Get
set
somebody
things
to
up.
repost your actual YouTube channel again too, though, would probably be a really good idea, so they can scroll through.
Yeah, for
Hey,
sure.
JJ. Well, JJ just posted it just 10 minutes ago, but yeah, you can post it again. JJ's been periodically posting it. I've been seeing it linked over there.
Yeah,
But
once you see the link, if you go to the search feature on my channel, if you type in radar, sonar, lidar, plex, you'll see quite a bit of videos on those particular topics, and you could queue them up in a watch list or just pick what you want to watch as far as what you want to learn.
and again with Penn, he's most of the time you're doing videos on a little bit. I don't want to. There, most of your
You're going to
videos are
say
not
more obscure topics.
that, and also not newbie focused. He tends to do videos on. Let me try to take you guys to the next step. That and that's what I love when I'm watching his stuff. I'm like, oh, this is something that I would be interested in.
Yeah, because because how I see it is like this. I'm not, and not that these methods and workflows can exist today. It's just that when I'm supplementing something or I'm trying to cover a large basis, I'm not trying to do the same thing I was doing 10 years ago when it's pertaining to streaming and cutting the cord and getting content for educational purposes. I'm trying to get something that's sort of like I'm looking for a hands-off, a more stylish profile method approach to it, to where I could just turn on the TV and say, "Oh, this is queued up, boom, 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 boom," and just click play.
Yeah.
That's what I want, and that's pretty much what I got. There are some user intervention, and I'm sure you guys have dealt with your fair share of issues with using softwares and things like that. I know, but I think you showed it a while back where it was some errors on some providers, and the different backbones that you have to configure for Usenet and all that. So there's some stuff you have to set up, but once you get it set up properly, it's pretty much hands off. I mean,
It's awesome.
Yeah,
it's great.
it is. It is. I mean, you're limited to just your what you want and the space you have. I mean, that's
Right.
where you're limited. I mean, you have to decide what's important. And I am a budget shopper, so I always when things are on special or on sale, that's when I get stuff. And again, when I got this 12 terabyte, I'm like, do I need a 12 terabyte? No, I have these other hard drives that are hooked to my computer that I use as my own storage for backing up stuff. But I bought that. I'm like, what am I going to use it for? And then it sat here for a month and I didn't use it. And then I was like, you know what? How about that's my Plex? That's my Plex server. That's what I'm going to mess around with. Now, I have a very, very, very small amount of people I share with because I don't really, I mean, to be honest, I think my kid has used it once in a month. My best friend has used it a couple times. Blue's never used it because she has everything she wants anyways, but I use it for me. So I'll just definitely check out his videos, check out some of that stuff. It's not for everybody, but it can be a great option. Next week, I want to talk about next week. I have been beating the bushes about getting a certain guest on the show. And I've talked to him.
Which one?
The old grandpa of add-ons.
You mean the only one that's still around?
Yes.
You want me to talk to him?
No. That was my intro to. I've been hitting him up about joining the show because he has an APK coming out. This grandpa of add-ons, the oldest running add-on right now, which is UK Turks. It is still on You can still get it. It's a Penn add-on. So that means he goes to a website, and a lot of people quit using it because they had to go to a website and click for a 4-hour pen, put the pen in, and then use it.
But the problem is he's so popular, and he has been so popular for so long that he had to be on a bigger server that he couldn't afford.
Yes.
That's why the Penn.
Right. And Blue, you and I know, because he was going to come over to Noobs and Nerds back in the day. Back in the day, he was going to come over to Noobs and Nerds, and this was before Noobs and Nerds was shut down. But we could not supply him a server because we know Bob was we couldn't afford Bob because it's just too popular. UK Turks was so popular back in the day, that it would overwhelm a server because of the hits and so to take you past to the point of you guys understanding why does the server cost people? Why are you saying about data? All right, so when you click on an add-on, certain add-ons, it pulls up a list. Okay, depending on the list, it may be boom, loads like that. All right, so then when you click on TV shows and it loads another list. Okay, so that may load a little slower. And then when you go to certain genres, now certain playlisters, Turks, and when we were doing with Blue with Bob, when we were doing that, those lists were unique. They weren't a track list. They weren't a TMDB list. They were a list we made or somebody else made. And the server has to read that list and give it to the user and say, here's the list. Where do you want to go next? Every time they clicked, it was calling to a server and then pulls the data. Okay, what's the next step you want? You want the next thing. Even though no videos were housed on the server, pulling that text document over and over and over becomes overwhelming to a server. Number one, the pulls, and then the frequency of the pulls, and then the amount of people pulling. So
when you have millions of people using your add-on, you can't use a $3 a month add-on.
No,
$3 a month server. You need at least 50 or more. And most people can't afford $50 a month just so everybody else can have free content.
For a free add-on, you can't say, I'm going to pay $50 a month, and that's cheap, to be honest. I don't even know if Turks couldn't have got away with a $50 server, I don't think. He would have had to have dedicated, and he would have a good server when he was free, complete. You're pulling that text documents over and over and over. Turks is coming to an APK, and he's going to be a standalone APK, y'all. This is going to, you don't need Kodi, you don't need any of that stuff. You'll be able to install this just like you do any other APK. It will have adverts. He did say that it will have adverts to supplement so that they can pay for the server costs.
So that basically, because it's an APK, that means no pin? Is that what you're saying?
No pin.
Adverts instead. Okay.
No pin, adverts instead. I don't know how the adverts are going to work. I've not looked at the APK, but he's going to be here. He's going to be here next week. He's got a couple people that are going to come on here with him.
Shut up. You finally got him?
Huh?
You finally got him.
Yeah. So fingers crossed, because to give you some history, he had one person worked on this APK, and they worked on it for a month or two and sent it to him, and he was going to be on the show. And I had talked about this. I gave a teaser when you and Carl were on the show. I gave a teaser, and then he says, no, this ain't going to work. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, nothing's working. So he had to basically have somebody else redo the whole APK. So he's going to be on. So for you people that are old school XBMC Kodi people, you're going to want to be here. For you people that have never heard of UK Turks, you need to come on here, because this guy's playlists are phenomenal. This guy, the work he puts into his playlists are
He's
epic.
Been around forever.
Ever. I mean, the same time that Phoenix was around.
Phoenix, yeah.
I mean, no other add-on is this old. And not to call him a grandpa, but he's a grandpa.
Because he's not a grandpa. I think he's in his 30s.
No, he's not. But he's a grandpa add-on in the world of that we're in. He's going to come on the show. He's going to release it, talk about it here, first time, place here. I'm excited about it because I would love to have that APK on my TV. Now, I did not have it as a add-on because of the APK, and not to knock on him. I understand why he did it.
You're saying because of the pin.
Yeah, not to knock on Nxtlvl or any of these other people that had pins. Hey, you do your thing, but what's comfortable to me. All right, Noir. Anybody that follows UK Turks on Twitter, anybody that follows UK Turks will understand about food porn because he'll post pictures. I actually used to send him pictures of my food. He used to do that all the time. The Beach says he was one of those that would pop on Husham show. Yeah, he would. I would ask him to come on. I'm like, Turks, you can come on. And he's not a boisterous person. He's not one of those people he doesn't seek the spotlight. You'd have to pull him on. But to me, I truly respect his work and Blue can do the same thing with his direct links. I mean, he was doing all those direct links back before direct links was cool. And direct links and the pain in the butt that stuff was. And Mandy follows him because she knows, he's the king of food porn. And if you follow him, like again, the food, he would post a lot of food porn stuff. So he's going to be here next week. So if you want to be here next week, if you're an old school person, or if you're new to Cody and you want to see something that's you've probably not seen, and this guy's doing stuff in his playlists. And what I mean by playlists, if you've ever went into an add-on and then you see, let's say exercising. Blue, you did an exercising section of playlist. Yeah. And you went into exercising, and then you would see all these different things. That's not found on the movie database. That's not found on Tract. That's not found on TMDB. That's not found on that. Someone creates an XML and they say workout fitness, and then they make a list. They make another one.
Well, technically that used to be true, but then you could grab a whole YouTube channel.
Well, yeah. If you grab the whole YouTube channel,
yeah.
And
back in the day, you were linking every single YouTube list, or you were finding on a Daily Motion, or you were finding it, But now, luckily nowadays, you can grab a whole channel, YouTube. So a workout guru, you can have. What was the dude that you like there, Todd? The gay dude?
Jesus! I don't know. He was gay.
He's totally gay.
No, you're not sure. Did
Something
he say he was
Marshall.
gay? Well, no, he did have a boyfriend, Fitness Marshall.
Yeah, he did. Marshall,
yeah, he did. It was Fitness Marshall. Yeah, and he did have a boyfriend.
But his videos are awesome.
Yeah.
He dances for them, and he has like usually a bigger girl and a more fit girl, or his boyfriend and
no. Yes, you're right, because he always had the big girl.
He's awesome. The fit girl is pretty good, and then the bigger girl or the boyfriend are more like noobs.
So they're working at it, and then the fit girl, she was more on point. Now he was, boom.
Oh my God, bang on. Yeah, that guy.
He was. I actually did watch him. I was trying to learn how to dance more because
the worm just wasn't cutting it.
I have learned the worm is not cutting it for dabs right now, so I understand that. I know my limits, and I learned it the couple episode 100. I learned dabs right here. No, that's not going to work.
No more worm.
The Beach says, do you ever think you can get the Tech Doctor UK to pop on the show? I'll definitely hit him up. I'll hit him up and see if again, Tech Doctor has got what? 200, 300,000 subscribers. I don't know if he would be willing to even come on my show. I definitely will send him a link or send him a PM. See if he'd be willing to join. I actually, Tech Doctor, I loved his remember his Fire Stick thing where you could turn off certain background processes in a Fire Stick.
Yeah.
Remember that was UK, that was Tech Doctor.
Yeah, I was getting way too much, like I didn't have any more space. So it was like kept giving me pop-ups and saying, Meanwhile, I'm like, what? I never had this problem on the cheapo stick. Now I got the 4K stick, and there you are jamming it. It's all bloatware.
Jamming it to me over here.
It shows you what to turn off and what not to turn off, so then frees up a ton of space for you again. But I mean, if you don't want to have the problem, get an HTPC.
Yeah. Oh, look at him, Alban. The Flossie still cracks me up. Hey, I should have stuck with the Flossie. Actually, I think I did the Flossie better than I did the worm.
Totally did, honey. Totally did.
That worm. Hey, what about you, Penn? The worm? Can you do the worm?
Nah. I'm good on that.
Come on now. I mean, you know, nobody else will do the dancing moves except for me on this show.
I can't do the worm, and it's not because I'm old. It's because I got big tits. It just doesn't work well.
I don't even. I'm not even.
I'd hurt myself.
I'm not even holding. Let's see.
So, Penn, you got anything else going on that you want to talk about?
No, I mean, like, really, it's just sort of like took a break this week because I had like experienced video burnout for the first time in quite a while.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's just been more like doing background stuff. Like, as far as devices, I have been enjoying my Shield. I just got it about a month and a half ago. So, because I have experienced. First, I had the Roku, and so I'm like, yeah, okay, well, this is the Roku. Tried that,
Yeah.
got that out the way, and I was like, all right, well, let me dabble into the Fire Stick. So I got the 4K stick, and the 4K was just it got to the point where it was slightly annoying, with the storage, and I use Android box, the T95 X2, and I'm like, certain apps that I want to run are not running, such as Plex would be an example, and the YouTube app that I use, it was like constantly flickering. I'm like, okay, let me just get the Shield. So I'm like, spent it, added a Samsung T7 SSD 500 gig storage to it, and it runs like a charm. And I haven't looked back since.
Nice.
It made sense because I got an NVIDIA graphics card, a laptop. I just needed the third piece of the puzzle, sort of.
It's people are like, well, I don't want to spend that money on that. We've said that numerous times on this show. The investment, and you will find the enjoyment on the back end of that investment is well worth it.
Well, when you're paying $100 a month to cable, and then you cut the cord, that's $100 a month you've spent. So even if you spend $200 on a device, that's only 2 months of what you would have spent on your normal cable anyway. And the good stuff, like the expensive stuff, will last so much longer. Like I said, my Nuke is like 8 years old. Like, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, this quality will last you. Those cheap Chinese boxes, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna pay $40 for this Chinese box. Sure, okay, sure.
Yeah.
And then what happens? The damn Ethernet port goes out, or the Wi-Fi chip goes out, or it's just, it is what it is on that. It goes out before long. And then you're like, well, if I'd invested in a little bit better quality, maybe it would have lasted better.
Yeah, there's always some corners being cut, with those type of investments. So
yeah. And the thing about when we talked about Amazon, and we talked about the Fire Sticks and this and that, and I said Amazon takes a loss on that device that they sell you. They're not making all their money back on that device, because what they're banking on is when you buy that device, that you buy the movies, and you buy the TV shows, and you buy the apps, and you buy all those other items, and you keep Prime. That's where Amazon's like, I'll take a loss. I'll take a $10, $15 loss on you buying it. But I'm not. We're going to get you on the back end.
Yeah, you rent one video for $15.99, and I just made it back.
Oh yeah, yep, exactly. Exactly.
Well, like you got Prime, for example, free shipping, 2-day shipping. But I mean, how much did you spend on Amazon? Like, it's all one big.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the dude has what? How many yachts? He made more in the pandemic than any other fucking person in the world. It's time to start taxing Amazon. Sorry, but They should be kicking back.
Well, and he got rid of his wife and it didn't hurt him. So, but so let me see here.
Yeah, T8 boxes. Jeez, I haven't heard that in a bit. Noir.
My aunt's over here messaging me. All right, so let me see. Get rid of this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to take a look at before we roll on a little bit farther, and I don't forget what's happened in Shadow this week. I try to give you a small little tidbit. What's happened in Shadow this week? What's new? What's not? Because I'm not going to make a video about it. So what's happened in new this week in Shadow? So a few fixes. He actually, now when we talk about the TVDB issue that was happening, the TV database issue, that is no longer, that was not an issue with Shadow. He actually created a workaround, so you didn't have to worry about it. One of the other things that Funster and myself worked on was a theme, an added theme for Shadow, which is the Sonic theme. Thought that was kind of fun. So we have a new theme. You can go through there. Nice little theme going on. Let me pop over here. A few, we changed some stuff in here. Some spelling issues that we fixed. But if you care about changing the theme and you have the newest version, you can look. Here's the different themes, and you do have to close the add-on. Let's say if I want to go to that theme, I do have to close the add-on for that theme to load. Okay, so if
that's pretty hard.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, some people are like, oh, the theme didn't change. You do have to close it. You do have to close it. So one of the reasons why the developer wanted to go with more of a Sonic, because he was talking about being so fast. So Funster and I thought about it, and Funster did all the thumb images, and I did a little bit of the other stuff to get it up and going. So we fixed that. Like I said, a few things for people that didn't know what Tracked World was. You don't need a Tracked account. So I added the parts in here where you don't need an account. If you have a Tracked account and you have it linked, yeah, that's what that's for. So hopefully people understand that a little bit easier. Some of the small changes in it just to make it easier for a person that's never watched any of my other videos for Shadow, so that we're working through the add-on, they understand where things are. You can make your own add-on, Bob. If you want to make your own add-on and not share it with, or excuse me, yes, theme. Thank you for. If you want to make your own theme, and you can either do, yes, Blue.
Whereabouts in Shadow are the themes located? Because I'm guessing you could just grab another person's theme and have a look and see how you need to rename everything and stuff, right?
Exactly. If you go to, and it's hard to say because it depends on what device you're on, or if you're on Windows. If you go to the add-on folder for Shadow, you will actually see resources. And I guess I can try to share that. Hold on a second.
Yeah, Bob would be great. I'd like to see what you come up with. Do something completely different. Don't do Sonic. Do something so different.
And the thing about it, y'all, you can.
Okay, wait. Not something against Munster, because I do like that stuff too. But just it would be nice to have a completely weird theme or something, maybe.
And you can actually, the developer of this add-on asked for people to offer themes.
Yeah.
So let's go here.
Honestly, though, I think you should do like other people have done when it comes to themes, and do that as a separate module. So when you load Shadow, the zip will be smaller, and then you can build this folder up a lot more or whatever. And then if you want to add the themes, you can, but they're not part and package to the whole thing. That's just my opinion, but I think it would be good as a separate module, especially if people theming it gets popular, you know?
You're right, because it could get big.
Right, because it was getting pretty big, and you had to shrink the size of the icons that he made, because it was, it would take you like 10 minutes to download the Shadow add-on that normally
Yeah.
About 5 seconds.
I'm going to go through, I'm using a portable version, so I'm not going to go through all the different ways to find your Kodi. So that's up to you to figure out where this is at. So if you go into your Kodi folder, so I'm in my Kodi folder, and I'm going to go to add-ons, and we're going to go down here to video add-ons for shadow. So we see the shadow one. And can I make this bigger? No, I can't. It won't make me bigger. So if you go into resources, under resources, you're going to see there's 4 folders. Artwork, which is default. Then you have the Keshiv.
Oh, they're not in their own folder? They're not in a theme folder?
Yeah. Each one is in their own folder.
Okay.
Shinobi is a folder, and then the Sonic is a folder. Now, if you let's just go into Sonic, you're going to see here's all the icons. So if you make your own theme, like Blue was saying, you'd have to make an icon for each one, and you just need to make sure they're named the same thing, and they're all PNG files.
Yeah.
And as long as your PNG file was named 3D, when you go to the 3D, it's going to open. If you call your new for the 3D free link or the icon for that, you call it 3D_free, it's going to load. The main issue people are going to have is on the naming. The other thing that he added to this was there's a fan art JSON file, and I have 3 fan arts here, and which we're probably going to change those.
And in all honesty, guys, if you're making a theme for your fan art, use something kind of plain, because if you're trying to use like a poster of the movie or something, it won't show because it gets covered by everything else. So just if you use something cool where it pops around just like the outside of it, because the inside's pretty much full of icons or a list, or you see very little of the screen when it comes to fan art. So just keep that in mind, because otherwise, if you do something really cool and it's right in the middle of it, you're not going to see it.
You're right, because on this themes, you only see the edge.
Nice and plain. Yeah.
Yep. And actually, this is my favorite one. I should have stuck with it, but this is the art. And if you do a theme, if you open this thing, and now you can open this with Notepad. I use Sublime. That's up to you. You're going to see this is the main for when you open the add-on, the main. This is my movie arts, and this is my TV arts. So this is so
clarify,
that
Todd, you did not do the icons.
No, I did not do the icon. No. I did some of the code change to get the thumbs and stuff.
And who did the art?
Funster. Funster did all the art. He did all the thumb. But you just got to make sure if you add your art, you need to rename it. Like let's say you call it main fan art. You need to make sure this says main fan art, movie fan art.
It's good to just use that JSON file then and to use the other icon.
Yep. This will at least give you
I think most people that have ever made themes before know, like, or have ever themed in general, know that it's always best to grab the original file, and then you know the size, you know what I mean? You know exactly what it needs to be called in order for the add-on to actually call it. Because I mean, it's not magic. Like the name of these things is in the add-on and in the add-on. So that's when it knows how to pull them.
And I'll use me for a mistake. Now you see this one here is called setting. Well, when I was renaming all these, I called this settings. And guess what? That icon didn't populate. And I was like, what the heck? Why is this? Yeah. And so I went and I looked at the default Pi, and I saw, setting, not the S. So it's simple things like that. The underscore, those can be issues. So if you want to do a theme, you can do that. The developer of this add-on he has said, hey, if people want to make a themes, let me know, and you can send them, submit them.
Slow double click the name of the one you're working on, and then copy paste it. That's what I would do instead of even bothering to retype it. That way you know it's exact.
Yep. So if you were a person that wanted to do it just local, you could actually just recopy one of these folders and call it something else, or call it the same thing, but repopulate it with new icons if you wanted to.
Or just make your own.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Making your own. But if you wanted to test it and say, I want to try something.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to do it local.
That's a really good way to test it is turn that on in your Kodi, that specific one, then go in there, change them. And as you change them, they should populate.
Hey, babe, can you you or Penn cover for a second?
No, for sure.
Yeah, Penn's all over it.
Penn, you're on it. Penn, what you got coming up?
Oh, well, hey, I thought I'd throw this out here. Let me pull up my handy dandy notepad that I got linked here. So this is this is more about an appreciation, as far as, the community, all the supporters, and I have the notes here. So my colleague of mine named Tech Reviews 919. I'm gonna pull up his channel right now so I can get the correct stats on this.
We can't see anything you're doing though. You know that, right?
Oh wait, let me share my screen. Yeah. When dabs get back, I'm sure he get. One moment. All right, sorry folks, but well,
sharing screen not working.
Well, I think he has to prove it before it actually shares it to the audience. But until he gets back, essentially what's going to happen is that when one of us reach 1,000 subscribers, just as to show appreciation, there's going to be some giveaways. So the giveaways are going to include 2 Fire Sticks, $100, and 1 month for premium service, just to show that, hey, the community supports on us, and we're just giving, incentive, and we're just showing support back. That's all it is. In no way, shape, or form that we are buying subscriptions. We've said that numerous of times, and we just want to show the love, spread the love, and do giveaways. And hey, it would be a nice goal to reach for either one of us, and we appreciate everybody that shows support. Okay, let me open up another tab here. All right, you back?
Yep. There you go.
All right, cool. So this is Tech Reviews 919 channel. So he's currently at 854 subscribers. So just to give you like a brief of his channel, he recently had an interview with Fire TV Stick. Great interview, by the way. If you guys haven't checked it out, I could link that in the side chat here, so you can post it on one of the mods. And it gives the insight on her workflow or schedule, how she goes about doing the lives and Q&A, and great interview. And generally with tech, he has some tutorials on TubeBuddy. So for those of you that are interested in TubeBuddy, it is a great tool for YouTube. I don't use it extensively as he do. I generally use it as just to get my tags and get certain keywords. But he has a whole series on how to set it up, how to configure it. He does live shows as well here and there. Very educational stuff. So I'm just scrolling through his channel here so you guys can get a sense of his titles. A lot of tech reviews, overview, things like that. Does some keyboard stuff, APK, some gaming. So when you see Tech Reviews channel, you get a little bit of everything here. And I know he's working on some stuff in the background as far as some more product reviews and pushing out some more content. But hey, check him out.
I've been watching again, Tech Reviews 919. Met him, nice guy. I actually met him in person.
Great.
So anybody else you got? I know that I see you on Shrink and Sharon's show in the mornings.
Mm-hmm.
So she does a morning show Monday through Friday?
Yes, I'm about to pull up her channel right here. So this is Sharon's channel, and she does the morning show Monday through Friday. It's pretty much the MS7. It's our staple show. It's at 9:35 Monday through Friday, Eastern Standard Time. And if I just scroll through her videos, you see like it's a whole catalog of just it's great because we get on the show, we talk streaming news, topics, show some tutorials now and then, and it's nice. It's generally an open platform where she sends out the link in the chat, and individuals can hop on and they could share some knowledge and also speak their opinion on certain things that's going on. And with this, not only does it streaming, but she covers health, life, things like that. It's not just technology and streaming, but you get a little bit of everything on here as well. It's more of a discussion, and we can get into certain different devices and tutorials regarding add-ons and APKs, but it's more of an open forum where users can hop on and share their opinion, and it's really nice. I really like it.
It's definitely a morning show. I
For
mean,
sure.
you know what I mean? It's you never know what you're gonna get in that morning show. I mean, depends on who shows up, and Sharon doesn't know who's gonna pop on. It's a not even a free for all, but just very, very low key. It's not hyped up. It's nice and mellow. So when you're having your cup of coffee, if I'm off, I'll drink my cup of coffee and I'll watch it for a while. Sometimes
Yeah.
I'll get on, sometimes I won't. It's just I'll have my cup of coffee and I'll be listening to what's going on. And Sharon tries to cover all the news, things that's happened that day or within the last day, and then she'll depend on the guests. So it's real neat.
Yeah, and then she also has some device setup videos that she did. That's the TiVo. This is the phone Z8. So she has put out some videos about how to remove bloatware from Telegram and other apps on your Android devices. I found this very educational because it gave an insight on how to remove bloatware from Telegram. Because a lot of people in our community, I would say, use Telegram as one of their main forms of communication. So when I seen this video 4 months ago, I was like, oh, all right, well, starting to put out some videos here. So check out Sharon's channel if you guys haven't already. The morning show is a blast. It's fun to hang around and be a part of the panel, see the questions in the chat, and overall, the people who come to support it, they're amazing. So we appreciate everybody. I'll also go through the team here because I feel as though, yeah. So this is Cam B. She's also a part of MS7, and yes, Cam is great. She does automation as well. She has videos on Radar. She uses NZBGIS for her downloader, and she specifies in getting these settings and these quick tips. I love these quick tips videos because they get to the point. So generally, when you want to watch a YouTube video, some people these days they like to get straight to the point and they don't want to watch a long drawn on video. Well, you're not going to find that on her channel. She has updates, she has starter recommendations for servers, and she explains it well within these quick videos on how to set up your Plex and settings within Radar, playlists, even how to set up lists. I know lists is a popular thing.
In other words, it's like the difference between Todd and myself. His are like.
I was thinking that's like my opposite.
Well, Cam is me. I'm short and sweet. There's no intro. It's just, here we go. That's the way I like them.
Yeah, it gets straight to the point. So check out Cam's channel if you haven't already, guys. It's a blast. You're always learning new things, and yeah, she puts out great content.
And you can also see her normally on Player Pass on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern, 10 p.m. the UK time. She's usually on Player Pass, so if you want to check her out.
Yep. By the way, great show. Wow. Love Player Pass. I mean,
and hey, we've even pulled you on a few shows.
I know, right? And I got my movie pick is next week.
Hey, and all right, so and Andrew be calling out because him and me got movies this week, so y'all need to be checking out next Wednesday, head to head, me and Andrew, because my movie's gonna stomp on his, but that's all right.
This is oh yeah, you guys next week.
Yeah.
What?
This is Kenneth Mullenchannel, and he is the founder of MS7, and he specializes in majority of pop-up shows where he comes on, and usually he's by himself, and he puts the link out there where individuals can get on and share their opinion of knowledge of certain devices or certain things that they have experienced, and it's a open panel generally as well, and it allows people to come on and speak their piece on certain things and overall have fun. As you can
And
see,
he
it's
does a lot of
scrolling now.
devices. He does a
Oh
lot of
yes,
devices. And that
yes.
mug got a library of devices. Because his computer desk, I thought I had a lot of stuff. No, that man, he made me look shameful. I mean, he got it all. He got it
Yeah,
all.
yeah, can be spinning on for sure. Like I'll be like, oh, you got that? Oh wow. And he'll do a live on it. So Ken is great. When it comes to the latest products or seeing different devices and setting them up, and check out Ken for sure. And I believe he has some stream scheduled out for Saturday where he's gonna be going over his B link. So if you're curious about that, definitely subscribe and hit that bell icon and check him out. Oh, the paper plate.
Paper plate fan.
Yes. So paper plate fan is a nice addition to the team because he's always he's just full of knowledge and he gives his opinion on APKs, devices, life tips, things like that, and it's always a blast having him on the panel. Plus, like he makes like these jokes, sometimes you're like, yo, like where do you even get that from? Just comes out of nowhere. But paper plate
Doesn't
is
he have a
cool.
build too? Does
Uh,
he have a build? I mean, I could be wrong. I know
I'm
I'm in
not
his.
sure.
I know I'm in his group. I'm in his Telegram group. But
Oh,
go
you
ahead.
know what? Yeah, I'll hit him up about that. I'm not sure.
No, no, go ahead. I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
just thinking. I thought I'd seen he had like a build and stuff going on.
hmm He has live shows on his platform and some videos as well. And his birthday is coming up, I believe, tomorrow. He's going to be doing his birthday stream on this channel. So if you guys want to come out and support and wish him a happy birthday and tune in for an hour or so, you're more than welcome. MS7 will be there. We'll be supporting on the panel and then the chat. And there's also going to be some fights scheduled out as well. So I'm
Hell
not sure
yeah,
what. Yeah, I'm not
UFC,
sure. Yup, UFC. So I'm not sure what
UFC.
time is he going to be scheduling, but we'll multitask and do what we gotta do, show support, things like that. And yeah. So his birthday is tomorrow. So come through for sure.
Is he gonna do the worm now?
I don't. You know what? I don't know. I'll have.
Come
You know
on,
what?
paper.
What?
If he's watching, he was here earlier. He needs to do the worm. I mean, I think that ought to be the. Yeah, I think that should be the benchmark. If you're gonna do a YouTube show and it's your birthday, you gotta do the worm. I want to see who holds up the best, who can pull up the best worm.
Hey,
And,
hey,
maybe that'll
paper.
sound pretty good. You heard
Hey,
it.
gotta do the worm again. We'll see how that goes.
I
Hey. All right, next one up is Brad. So Brad is pretty unique in his channel because his videos they get straight to the point as well, and there's usually no commentary. It's just filled with like some pretty fun music to enjoy in the background, and he does more of setup videos. So Brad is like more on the end, like, hey, like I'm not going to talk, just going to show you, get to point A to Z, and it works. So check out Brad as well. He's at 154 subscribers, and hey, if you guys haven't subscribed to him and checked out his videos, I highly recommend his channel as well.
Now, Todd, when the show's over, can you throw all these channels up in the chat, like in the
what I'll
comments?
do is in the show notes. In the show notes,
Yeah.
I will
Mhm.
post everybody's links all in the show notes.
Hey, so this is Mr. Baller. Now he doesn't have any videos on his channel, but he's always on the panel. He's like he's one of the people that work in the backgrounds for MS7. So he'll be handling some of the business in terms of the giveaways and packaging, things like that. And then he's always knowledgeable on, you know, Cody, and he loves his Cody, Butcher. So I'm sure you know.
Yeah, I
You heard
know.
him talk about yup.
He's on
Exactly.
he's on Shrink and Sharon show in the mornings. I know. I talk with Mr. Butler. Him and
So
me.
hey,
Him and me together.
so Butler, yes, so Butler is very passionate, and yeah, he's always brings a fresh perspective to the topic. So shout out to Mr. Butler. And hey, if he gets 100 subscribers, he may be doing a video or so. You know, you never know in the future. So check him out as well. Then there's Technology King, and his video started off with Put.io, which is actually a form of a limited seed box, perhaps. But his videos are quick and easy, and they sort of get to the point in terms of how to use FileBot and how to use Malwarebytes.
I love FileBot.
Yes, FileBot is amazing.
Yeah, I use it all the time.
Yep. Although it did give me some errors with some things, but I figured, I guess I'm going to have to manually fix this myself, which is a pain if it's like 10 plus seasons.
Oh, that's weird. Is it
Yeah.
because there was like a year missing, or whether it was UK or US?
It wasn't. It would just be random things like, I don't know. I'm not sure. Like sometimes it wouldn't like match properly, and then and it didn't matter what source I picked or whatever, and I have to manually change it. But then again, there's also for TV shows, Sonar can rename things as well. So whenever FileBot didn't work, I use Sonar, and usually 9 times out of 10, if one of them didn't work, the other one did.
Yeah,
it's cool. Check out Technology King as well. He's more structured on video making, not so much as live shows. But perhaps sometime in the future, when he have some time, we can schedule a stream and we can just collab back and forth and show off some things as well. So I might hit him up about that and make that happen.
Well, Tech King has been on my show before. He follows a lot of the cord cutting information, and so I tend to. He actually shared a lot of different stuff.
Yeah, he's a nice dude.
Yeah,
great knowledge.
Albin's been posting about the UFC fight, and you did say about UFC 253, which is tomorrow. Prelims start at 7 p.m. That's early prelims, and then regular prelims is at 8, and the main card is at 10, and this is Israel Adala is the main card. I'm looking for that to be an exciting fight, or hopefully a good card. Last card, and I mean, I guess the people in side chat could say that the earlier fights were good. The last 2 fights to me were a little but the earlier fights were really, really good. I mean, some phenomenal knockouts, submissions. I don't need people to be knocked out. If you can submit somebody real well, the ladies' fight was Mackenzie. She submitted the other girl. Oh, God, it was so great. I mean, she was so technical. So that's tomorrow night. You might want to check if you have a service or your favorite. Some of your add-ons may have it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward. It's also a good boxing card as well for tomorrow.
Really?
Yes. Have you heard of the Charlo brothers before? Jamel and Jamar Charlo.
Hold on a second. Let me go to on Telegram. I'm actually in a fight. We have a fight. There's a fight Telegram group, which if there's a UFC fight or boxing, different people will chime in. What did you say that was? The Estorada?
Wait, let me
Estorada Corrado. That looks like boxing.
Yeah, it may be. The Zone may have a different card scheduled for tomorrow as well. But I think with the Charlo brothers, they're on Showtime, I believe.
Charlo. That's not Charlo. All right, so I see Ty Tolan is fighting no, that was yesterday. No, I don't see that one. All right. She said boxing. Okay.
I'll be watching
boxing
both.
to me. Boxing just is too slow for me. I can't. I'm like, let's get to it. Let's come on. This is like, that's one of the ways I like UFC. It's now there is sometimes when the fight is a little slower, but for the most part, they tend to be, if the referee will be like, no, you need to speed this up.
Oh, my bad. That's tonight. That the zone card I mentioned with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. versus Mario Cineras. I think that's how you pronounce his name. That's tonight on the zone.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. So so that'll be tonight. So you guys check out your whatever subscription you're using, or maybe your favorite add-on. There's a few add-ons that do a very good job about live sports, so you might want to check that out.
Yeah.
Let's see. So I will run through very quickly the highlights for the last 2 weeks of news in that I had found on cord cutters, because last week the show went long and I cut it off, and so I didn't do it. So I'm going to go through the highlights, and I'm not even going to show it to you guys. So DC Universe is rebranding as a comics-only subscription, which means you're going to be able to, if you pay for the DC Universe, you're actually going to be able to download the comics and actually be able to look at them on your device. There is another Netflix scam was going on last week, so be careful about getting emails from different places that may be asking you for your information. I will speak personally about if you have Verizon, and it reminds me, every time I say Verizon, I think of Shrinking Sharon. Because you know what she calls that? For Robin. Because she all the time, for Robin, because they robbing you of all your money. So
oh yeah.
Hey,
she did a whole promo too. You would think she got signed by them.
She's like, for Robin, be telling you. All right. So Verizon, if you have Verizon, folks, and you have an unlimited package, you might need to take a look at your packaging. I had an old package from 2 years ago. I rebundled it, saved $5, and I have Disney, which I had already, but that was about to run out in November. I also now have Hulu, and I have ESPN Plus for free. So if you have a Verizon account,
go fight with them.
No, you don't even have to fight for them. I went to their website and said, I want to change my plan. You go in there, change your plan. There was no issues. I changed my plan. I saved $5, and now I have Hulu and ESPN Plus and Disney for another year. So take a look. If you have Verizon, you might want to take a look at your package, see if you're eligible for that. So that was and so that's good saving. The trailer for Mandalorian season 2 is out. Blue.
Yeah, it looks fantastic. And there's fantastic. And Ahsoka Tano. Bring it. Bring it.
It's going to be Mandalorian Mondays. I think they're going to release the videos on Mondays. So they were talking about it's going to be Mandalorian Mondays is what they said they're going to promote it as.
This is how Disney should have done Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is like, it feels like Star Wars, except really, really good Star Wars. There's something about it that's just cooler than everything else. The music, the vibe, Mandalorian's one of the coolest characters ever. Let's
see, Google Fiber. There is some Google Fiber 2 gig link or 2 gig packages, but it's only launched in certain places. So people that have Google Fiber, you may want to take a look, and I don't know if I have a link for it, but you may need to just go to Google, go to your Google account. They do have some 2 gigabit download packages that they're offering in certain places. So that is a package that something you may want to look at if Google Fiber is offered in your area, because that's not offered where I'm at. But if you have Google Fiber, you may want to take a look at they're doing some testing in certain areas for 2 gig internet plans.
Bama was asking me which plan you have.
Me, I have Beyond. It's Beyond something. No, I had Beyond. I need some. Wait, that don't even sound good. I don't remember. I had the package. Bottom line, and with all things, I'm paying like $80 a month. So $80 a month, unlimited. I can go to Canada or Mexico, unlimited, all that. I get 15 or 20 gigs of unlimited speed, and then after 15 or 20 gigs, I can't remember, they throttle me back. So if that makes sense to you, I don't remember. I ain't gonna pull it up because I'd have to open up my Verizon thing to see, because they have Play More, Play Some. There's like different ones, and when you go to Verizon, it's going to say $45, and that's bullshit because you got to have four connections or four phones to be $45. And then when you say, oh, I only got one phone, and then it changes. So, IMDb channel. All right. So IMDb TV is launching an AMC channel for Walking Dead. And I mentioned this because some people don't realize.
What does that even mean?
All right. So what I mean by that is IMDb. So the website.
Yeah.
Actually, you can stream shows and movie from their website.
Does it cost anything?
No, free.
Okay.
Free. So there is certain content. So if you're a person that's not wanting to pay for this or that, you may want to check out on your device to pull up IMDb. That's the internet database. Pull that up, and they do have free content. And again, it's older. Usually it's older shows or older movies, but you may find some stuff on there that you want to watch. And it's, again, free. It's free. So IMDb. Average user of streaming increased by 4 hours during COVID. Duh. SpaceX, which we talked about that a couple times, about them. What's it? Elon Musk. Elon Flux. What's his name? Elon
Musk.
Musk. Yeah, that's Musky. So he's setting up a bunch of satellites. Elon Flux. So he's setting up a bunch of satellites. They're going to basically surround and circle the world and be looking at you all the time. And they're going to be able to give you internet at a lower cost, supposedly. And what they're hoping is that you're going to be able to get internet anywhere. So as you know now that if you say you go to the mountains, if I go to the mountains, I don't get cell service because they don't have any towers near me. With SpaceX, the internet will be everywhere because they're broadcasting, so it's not reliant on towers. They're actually broadcasting down. So one of the things that they said that will happen to people is that you'll get a lower rate because they're going to offer a internet service. So other companies will have to lower their price to match that.
So we don't have the money to shoot garbage into space, but we have enough money to put satellites all over the world like garbage surrounding us. That's great. That's just
you and sending trash to damn.
I'm telling you, man, we're worried about our trash on our planet. Let's friggin' have Elon Musk build us a goddamn rockets all over the place, or just some sort of big, huge cannon that shoots, big balls of garbage out in outer space.
So we're gonna have gigantic cannons.
How cool would that be? Seriously, Bill, you bring it to the cannon place. You get to load it yourself. Fucking hit the button. Out into space it goes.
The Southerners would love that. I got a big ass gun. I can shoot it.
Would love that. Totally.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, let's get it off planet.
Hopefully it gets out of the atmosphere and out of the gravitational pull.
Hey, honey, hey, listen, I can't believe nobody's ever thought of that before.
Think about this. So if you shoot it to the outer atmosphere, but it's not without.
No, you got to get it towards the sun, and then the sun will just burn it up.
No. So think about this. Even if you don't miss, even if it doesn't get out of your Earth's gravitational pull, it starts to come back in. What happens to it? It starts to burn up. Because you ever seen a shooting star?
That's you go.
That's a piece of rock.
Yeah.
Hey, honestly, dang.
That's my idea.
So she's thinking out of the box. We got big ass guns shooting
when that's
trash.
When one of these billionaire or trillionaires finally get a fucking conscience, instead of buying another yacht, come up with the garbage cannon. You heard it here first.
I want to shoot my trailer into space and have it come back down. All right. Sling TV. So we talk about a lot of cord cut and stuff. folks, if you're a semi cord cutter and you're thinking about you want to maybe cut the cord, but you're not willing to jump into the muddy waters that some of us are into that are a little bit more, Sling TV is a definite option. And take a look at some of their options. They have a red and a blue package, I believe. Take a look at which package may work for you. It can be as low as $20 a month is where they start. It may be closer to $30. But it can be a very viable package for some people that are cord cutters that are not wanting to get away from cable, but not jump into, oh, I'm so confused with apps and add-ons. And Sling TV is a very good option for folks. And the other thing is Cord Cutter News had a link for the best indoor antennas for cord cutters. And I will quickly say those. And Clear TV Premium HD was number 5. The Winegard flat wave amplified indoor HD antenna, and Top AT500. Antennas Direct Clear Streams Eclipse 2, and the number 1 was MoLeaf 50 amplified indoor antenna. So if you're a cord cutter, and again, I've gotten message from people and people complain, I need something, I want to watch local stations. Depending on your location, you may get away with an indoor antenna. Now, you can't be out in the boonies and pick up the station that's 80 miles away. In good with an indoor antenna. But if you're semi-rural or somewhere in the city, some of these indoor antennas, the MoLeaf, the Antennas Direct, and Top, WindGuard. WindGuard is another hot. MoLeaf and the WindGuard are, to me, the top ones. And then this says Clear TV. The other one is Channel Master has one. Check that out. When you say, I can't turn off the cable because I need local stations, y'all, you can get local unless you're out in the boonies. And with these small $50 investments, that $50 investment will save you long term. You say, I don't want to spend $50 or $60 on an antenna. Well, if you're able to cut,
then getting getting your local channels.
Yes, exactly. If you're able to get rid of that $100 bill off your cable, that $50 antenna is nothing. And again, it depends on your location. There's numerous websites. I want to say over the air US Gov. I can't even, you do a Google search. I don't have the link on me, but you can do some Google search that will tell you, if you put your address and your zip code in, it will search what places are close to you, and it will tell you what stations you can pull and what stations you can't. So check that out. So, all right. So I've caught up on my damn news. Yes.
We've decided that at some point in my life, I am doing a blue bullshit channel, and it is going to be me talking about garbage cannons and stuff like that. And Andrew said, I said, once Todd moves here, I'll need some blue time, and I'll direct it at
She'll need some blue time.
And Andrew said, I'm too busy thinking of ideas for your channel, Blue. I'm not even sure what Todd or Dabs is talking about.
Yeah. Well, Andrew, all right. So in all fairness, really in the UK, they don't really have over the air. That's not really viable because they have, you got to pay a tax in the UK. You got to pay a tax for over the air. Oh. Tax. You're taxed for over the air, which is in the US is not. Blade, thank you, Blade, for Lowcast, which is another good option if you're in certain locations, because Lowcast is not available nationwide. If you're in certain locations, yes, Lowcast work. If you're using a VPN and you lie that you live in Boston, you can use Lowcast. Or if you say, I'm in Miami, Lowcast will work. Because what it does is the website will pull your IP address and it says, hey, you're in North Carolina. Well, and then it says, hey, guess what? There ain't no North Carolina stations agreed to that. So it tells me no. But if my IP address was, say, Boston or Miami, I know Miami's one of them, or Atlanta. If I set up my IP address was one of those cities, then Locast would say, yeah, you can watch ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, or maybe some other ones. So definitely an option, Locast. But you got to be in certain cities unless you use a VPN and you tell it that you're in that city. So, all right. So Andrew says only need a TV license for BBC. So, hey, good night, Andrew. So, yeah, aluminum foil doesn't work no more. No, no more. Don't work no more. Well, see, Penn is probably too young to remember that. Blue, do you remember aluminum foil?
Yeah. I used to have to get up. I was the remote back in the day. Yeah, you had to get up and change the channel, and it was like click, click, and usually only had like 2 channels. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. And we had the rabbit ears, and we had the aluminum foil. And if you turn the rabbit ears a certain way, and you turn the dial that, all right, this needs to be on 3 o'clock, and you turned it, you'd be like, oh, we can pick up that station. And my dad would be like, no, I need to watch that other station. You'd be like, okay, click, click, click. All right, move it. Okay, I got that one. Yeah, okay. Like when she says she was remote, it was like, hey, change it to channel 3.
When satellites came out, and you had to, the dish had to be exactly right. Otherwise, it was all snowy, and you get all pissed off.
Oh, man.
Hey, I'm telling you,
about that.
back in the day,
those giant satellite dishes. But the best thing about it is I used to fake sick all the time because I got to go to her house when I was sick, and she had Disney and MTV. And I remember that. I remember and the dish was like 20 fucking feet long. It was humongous, and you'd literally be like change a fucking channel.
Oh wow!
All right, so to give a background to that, and you're right, 20 foot. So when we see those big NASA satellite dishes, they were the same type of thing. And what they did is they would look at a different satellite. So we got satellites that are positioned above the US, and as the US turns, those satellites stay in the same position. Okay, so they move along with us. So what your big satellite dish would point to satellite PN 39645. And on 35649 was Disney, MTV, and blah, blah, blah. Oh, I want to watch HBO. Oh, that's on this other satellite. So and it would turn until it'd catch that satellite. And when you caught that satellite, the channel would come in on your TV. That actually was second. That was second level. That was second level antenna.
And now people are like, but my track isn't working on my first phone. It's not the track of the last episode I watched.
You didn't put a check mark.
Tinfoil. Giant rotating dish.
Oh,
my God.
We're
crazy. Oh my gosh. So yeah, the aluminum foil, and my dad be like, turn it to channel 6. But I was the best. I was the best channel changer in my house.
But I definitely don't miss having to get up just to change a channel. There was no remote. There was no. You were the remote. Just like I remember one time somebody said, "You got a dishwasher?" and she's like, "Yeah, she's right there." I'm like, yeah, I'm right here. We don't need a dishwasher. We got kids.
Oh my gosh. It's there's so many things change. And when you say now people, hey, the track list isn't putting a check mark next to things I watch.
The funny part about that too is most of the people that are complaining are old like us, and they should know better. They should know better. They're not 18-year-old kids that don't know any better. And I'm talking to you, Aubin.
Only black and white. I do remember only having black and white TV. Old folks, I remember it. Oh my gosh, a 12-foot mesh satellite. Yeah, and I think ours was bigger than 12. I didn't.
And ours wasn't mesh.
I was never rich enough to have the satellite.
I don't know how my grandparents had that. That was weird, but I loved it.
Old people had money. Old people had money that they just didn't spend, and they'd be like, I guess I need some TV.
Yeah, my grandpa did have a good job, and my grandma owned a store in town that did really well. So,
oh my gosh!
Money, but I love
Penn, welcome back. Remember back when? Remember back when? Remember back when we used to ride the horse into town and
had to walk to school. They had to go to walk to school in the snow uphill with no shoes.
both ways. Yeah.
Both
Oh
ways.
my gosh. No, I ain't lying. The damn antenna stuff is funny. Yeah, we were channel changers, dishwashers.
TV dishwasher.
Hey, I ain't lying. My dad be like, change to channel 6. You know how to do that.
Okay,
and my dad never left the couch.
Todd, I have to tell you, I have a new best friend. I think Octavia is my new best friend. Awesome on everything. My parents said we were the TV changer and the dishwasher and would call us from the other room to change the TV. Yes, they did. Mine too.
Yeah. And damn, don't be wrong on that either. What? That ain't channel 6. I got snow in that still.
Oh, right.
Yeah. It's fun.
We also wonder why, as a society, we're all fat now. Because nobody has to get up and change the channel anymore.
Nobody's excited. Yeah.
Or you know what? You'd leave your light on in your room, and your parents would yell. You'd be like the other end of the house, and they'd yell at you to go turn your light off. Back you'd go, turn your light off.
What do you think? We own the electric company? You think we own the electric company? Get in there and change. Turn that light off. Cut that. Well, my parents used to say, cut the light out. Cut that light out.
Well, I told you about the girl I know the other day. Okay, can I swear on here? Yeah?
We're already way past swearing.
So her son was playing Xbox with his friend, and I guess it was time for the friend to go home. It was time for bed, basically. The kid's only 10. So she went downstairs, and she turned off the light in the room, and she said, okay, time to go, time for bed. And he turned around, and he said, turn the fucking light on, bitch, to his mother. He's 10. And instead of grabbing him by the scruff and hauling him upstairs and beating the shit out of him, like I probably would have, turned the light back on and left. Like, this is what's wrong with parents today. This is what's wrong. Your kids should not be talking to you like that. And if you let them, then you deserve to have a fucking rotten kid. And that's another little fun and goodie.
Oh my gosh. When you she told me about this the other day, and in my hair's like, no,
I'm the same. That's exactly how I get. No. When mine was weird, the hair stands up on the back of my neck, and I know I'm like, oh no, you didn't.
I mean, I didn't beat my kids or nothing like that, but
me neither.
My kids never talked to me like that either, because I cannot imagine my kid. And yes, there's a disconnect.
It's called respect. It's a very simple thing. You're not their friend. I'm sorry, as much as you want to be. Maybe when they're adults, you can be friends. But when they're kids and they're young and they're stupid and they think touching a hot stove is fun, no, you're not their friend. You're their parent.
My dad told me that he says, if your kids don't hate you most of the time, you're not being a good parent.
Yeah, because when you become an adult, I remember when I became an adult, and I mean, I got kicked out of the house, I don't know how many times, especially when I was a teenager. And when I when I was in my 20s and I became a little more responsible, I went back to my parents and I apologized. I'm like, oh my God, I was awful. Because you're young, stupid, hormones raging and whatever. But yeah, they kept me in check all the time, and I appreciated it.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. All right, so I'm sorry. We're running too late. Penn, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's Penn. You mentioned your channel. Anything else you want to close out? I'm sorry we ran over 2 hours.
Oh no, it's fine. You know, you guys were just having fun. Listen, I appreciate everybody that tuned in to the show. Take the opportunity to hang out with us. Butcher Blue with me. Appreciate everybody in the chat. And special shout out to my crew, MS7. Love the crew. Love what we stand for. Love what we do. And just keep pushing. And once again, thank you for inviting me onto your platform. And check out the next episode of Pass or Play, which is next Wednesday at 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And it's going to be a crazy episode. You know, it's pretty hyped up. And I'll reveal my pick and go from there.
Yep. Miss Blue?
I'm going to be technical and say it's called Play or Pass. It was very close.
Okay.
Thanks.
Sorry, Ben.
It's all right. I'm a bit tired myself.
I like to put the positive in front of the negative.
Yeah. Hey, look, guys, I am a little tired. My bad.
No, it's all good.
Faster, this sucks really bad.
Well, that's
Hey,
only
hey,
when
whoa.
that's only when some people pick.
We should have totally called it something a little more like spicy.
Yeah, I was trying to be careful. We can always
I
change
know,
it.
and I agreed with you on it, but I mean, yeah, we've been changing things as we go too, though. But what am I supposed to say? What we're saying goodbye?
Anything you want to close up? Anything you want to close out with?
Can you tell I've had 4 glasses of wine now?
Yeah, I tell you're all right. But hey, you ain't got spiced up yet, so we're all right. She hasn't called nobody an FF, and she hasn't
And I
dropped
was
the F
in a
bomb.
mood this morning. I woke up this morning in a mood, and normally I'm a roll out of bed, happy-go-lucky girl until something goes wonky. Otherwise, I'm good. But this morning, yeah, a couple things set me off, and poor Todd got the brunt of part of it, and I apologized for it once I had a coffee. But I was in a mood all day. All day I wanted to kill somebody, and so yeah, I was a little worried about your show because I thought maybe
I was good.
but I didn't. I did good. Did I do good?
Yeah, you did fine. You have not cussed out anybody. Even we've had people jump on this side chat, and I thought maybe, but then it went by. But hey,
I can tell you right now, I was pretty close there.
And we're moving on. And
out of respect for you, I let it go. But no, thank you to everybody who watched. I'm always appreciative to have you guys here. Sometimes we can be a little long-winded and weird, and I can get a little pissy or idiotic, and I got to cut Todd off quite often when he starts squirreling. But thank you for watching. And in the event that I do a channel at some point, maybe next week, if any of you be interested in watching, it's going to be
garbage.
It'll have nothing to do with Cody whatsoever or streaming. It'll just be bizarre shit coming out of my mouth.
Shooting garbage into space.
Hey, come on now. That's friggin' ingenious. I mean, we talk about that all the time. Like, we're polluting the planet. Let's just blast it out there. There's tons of space out there. Shoot it into the sun. Burns.
Shoot it towards third world countries. Okay.
Like, hey, North Carolina, between 2:15 and 2:45, you can blast your garbage, and then I'll be like, South Carolina, between
South Carolina, shoot your garbage off. Shoot your garbage off. We don't need to pull that video out either. I'm glad we don't. I'm glad nobody on Telegram has that video. So thanks for everyone joining the channel. I know we've ran over. I tried to keep it at 2 hours and we ran over. Penn, thanks for joining on. I'm sorry if I cut you off. I'm sorry if I didn't give you enough time to talk at points.
Oh no, this is fine.
And just for future reference, Penn, cut him off. He doesn't actually mind, because sometimes I noticed quite a few times you were trying to talk and then he sort of, I don't know if there's a lag between us, but then he starts talking over you. So just say, hey, Dabs, can I say something? Or that's what I have to do.
Yeah, sometimes that works very well.
It's all good.
I definitely enjoyed having Penn on here, and again, this guy, he's a guy I follow. And this is not the knock on any of the Rohas, Nxtlvl, Sharon, Tech Review. None of those. I'm not knocking on any of those folks, because each of them do their great content, and I follow and I watch those. But I will say that I feel like Penn has been doing stuff that speaks to me, and I feel like I would like to give him a platform for him to jump on here and to share some of his stuff. Share knowledge, sharing insights. So again, Penn, any weeks that you'd like to come on here, you can listen, jump in when you want. Let me know. I will give you the link next week when we have Turk on. And you, being a person that may or may not have ever heard of Turk or seen any of his stuff, you could actually ask questions that I wouldn't think of. If it's something
absolutely.
If it's something you've never seen or used, you'd be like, I'm complete new at this.
He's a nice dude too.
Yeah, Turk is a great guy. So
awesome.
Fingers crossed he shows up. So next Wednesday, the Highwaymen. Highwaymen. It's all right, because Andrew did that one. And then the Dallas Buyers Club, which we know is going to be just freaking awesome.
Yeah, because it was nominated for 1 million Academy Awards, and your boyfriend's in it.
And my boy's in it. Matthew McConaughey is in it. So that is next Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 p.m. in the UK, 2 p.m. on the West Coast time. So please join us for that. It'll be fun. Penn's usually there. He's been there for the last few weeks. Shrinking Sharon's been in there. Octavia's been in there.
And definitely is going to come on this week because then he gets his pick for next week.
Yes, he has to come on because if he doesn't, he's not picking. And it is always great to have people pick movies that we all have to watch, be it if it's in your wheelhouse or not in your wheelhouse. You have to watch it.
Yeah.
And that is fun about this show. There is numerous shows I've watched and I had zero interest in watching, but I watched it.
Well, I mean, Roger's pick was one of the funniest movies I've ever seen. I'm digging Cam stuff. Aubyn's touch and go. He's in, he's out. He's in, he's out. We're not sure what's going on there.
Yeah. Hey, no, he's
safe with the friggin' Academy nominees. I go from the heart. Andrew goes from the gut.
And I don't know what he's eating, but he needs to stop eating it.
Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, boy. Well, I mean, next week. Am I next week? No, Andrew's next week, eh?
No, Andrew's
this week. I'm next week with Penn then. Cool.
I don't know.
The one I'm going with, everybody has seen, which it's kind of maybe that might suck a little bit because I mean you've already seen it, but hopefully you haven't seen it in a while. And to me, it's one of my all-time favorite movies, so I'm picking it because of that.
Well, you picked The Color Purple.
And I don't think it won any Academy Awards.
I can give you a list of some of the ones that did win Academy Awards.
Yeah, no, you keep that shit to yourself.
I got them right here. All right, so Grid Times. Watch us next for Wednesday, and again, non-techie. That is definitely non-techie show. You have an opinion if you like a movie or not. The only thing we ask is that you watch the movie. We post the link for you to join the show, or you can do just like everybody is on the side. Posted your thoughts. I liked it, didn't like it. This sucked, that sucked. Whatever. I don't care. But fun. It's fun movie shows.
Absolutely.
Again, thanks for everyone joining the show. I'm sorry we ran way over. God, Penn, that's all your fault.
Like a birthday show.
I'm blaming Penn because I've been right at 2 hours until Penn joined the show. So
I'll take that.
Yeah, that's all good. All right, so we had a good show. Thanks for y'all joining.
And Todd, one more thing. You got to sort out. Seems like everybody from MS7 keeps getting blocked in your chat for some strange reason. Sharon and Penn, definitely. So
I don't see
or is that a stupid YouTube thing?
It's got to be YouTube because and I'm even looking. All right, so I see Sharon over here, and well, no. See, when I look at my YouTube, the pop out, it doesn't even show it. I don't even see it highlighted.
What?
And Penn, it's not even like how normally it says show or hide. So there, I did see. All right, I saw Penn said laugh out loud. That was the first thing.
I'm clicking them all to show. That's why.
I don't know. I mean,
I haven't.
It's not on me. I don't even have. I don't have them blocked like they're bad people.
Yeah, I know it's weird.
I don't know what's going on with that.
Damn you, YouTube.
Damn YouTube.
Yeah.
So, all right. So thanks for everyone watching. You know what? Streaming matters to us because streaming matters to you.